let's hear some new hip-hop off this week's Rap Caviar playlist. On first, got a real powerhouse collab here from three Atlanta hip-hop icons. JID, 21 Savage, and Baby Tate. The song features a sample from another legend, Aretha Franklin. It's called Surround Sound.
Push the fucking pack off of the porch or break a pound down. Hit the scrap if it happen to blow, it makes surround sounds. Pussy cat on my lap, push it back and go to town down. Fucking rap on my back and I'm black and snatching clowns. I done came back around, I got niggas selling crack in pounds. I got a bag now, but it's nothing to brag about. Gun blacks in the background, I'm a black man with a bloodhound. Making love sounds too bad.
Hey.
Down south, not allowed now. You can fuck around.
Hey y'all. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Stubby, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Lay your little ass down.
Me and my money attached emotionally. I get a clutching if you get too close to me. I'm at the top while I'm posting me. Jumping in the gun, niggas act like they coaching me. 400 rats ain't shit but a show to me. I'm on the road and I bet that you hold with me. When I'm in traffic, it's always a pro with me. Pillsbury man, keep going me. Hit from the back.
Alright, Stubby. Oh, yeah. Is it raining? So. I'm not coming up in here. I want to kind of get right started into a collective reading just because I've been feeling that way. I've been feeling that way. Also, I haven't shuffled anything, so give me a second, y'all. Give me just a second. He said, "How have you been?" I've been good, but just a little bit irritated. I just think that's energetically what it is. Like, Capricorn season just be like that, like, where everyone's on a hair trigger. Especially me, apparently. So I've been on that hair trigger, where I feel how I feel. But I feel like this is good reading energy because I feel like it's no bullshit energy. And I feel like a lot of people bring bullshit, you know? So it's like one of those energies where it's like, okay, it's not toxic. It's just about right. It's like, okay, I know right from wrong. I'm going to speak right from wrong. I'm going to call out what needs to be called out. And I'm going to put people on the stand, the trial type shit. Because if you fucking around, you fucking around. And it's going to be synced. He said, well, you look good. Thank you. Pure Justice, Libra. Thank you. Merry Christmas. And Happy New Year. I know y'all excited for that part too. The New Year. I'm excited. Can you do me a free reading? Well, I can give you a free yes or no. What's your yes or no question? Someone lives like on the edge, or it's almost like it's like a childish lifestyle, even though the person is very mature and maternal. It's like, how do you live this type of lifestyle and you're still able to keep it together? I think a lot of people wonder that about the feminine energy. So maybe you are younger, but you give like that older vibe or that old soul vibe. It could be like you by nature have maternal energy. So it's nothing that was necessarily had to be taught to you. You might not have had a mother or had a proper teaching of what a mother should be like, but you still emit that type of energy, and I feel like it still attracts certain types of people. Even though you might not live that exact lifestyle, like you might not have children, you might not have that type of nurturing energy in life. It's just like you give that, you emit that somehow. You're like, how do I keep attracting all these mama's boys? Or how do I keep attracting all these people that have mommy issues? You're like, straight up, like, why is that me? Why does that have to be with me, about me? And it's just the way you are, who you are. They talk about clubbing and partying and type of shit. That's what I mean by like the immature type lifestyle, even though you are, you know, mature. And there's nothing wrong with having a little fun, but having a little fun can also present as an issue because it's against your morals, or it's against your, like, where you are at emotionally and mentally. So it's like having fun. What's your definition of having fun, right? Is it getting the attention? Is it having sex? Is it going on dates or going out with your friends? Like, what is your definition of having fun? Because it could be really affecting you right now, mentally, emotionally, and physically, in a bad way. Because you can't find love that way, and you can't love yourself a lot of the times in that way, in the way that you want. Now, if this is just a celebration thing, though, I do feel like it's not. I'm gonna give benefit of the doubt and say, if you feel like you're doing this because everybody else wants you to, everyone else is asking you to do it, versus what you really want internally, then that's a problem. Because what you really want internally is what you should be doing, regardless of what everybody else thinks and feels. Did Andre cry for me when I was absent, when I didn't go to class last time? Did he cry for you, Brenner boy? I'm gonna say yes. I would say yes. I think he cried particularly, I mean, not just because of your absence, but also because he's just an emotional person overall. He's a sensitive individual. He's sensitive and he's sad, I feel like, all the time. I feel like he doesn't really have a button that says, like, I need to stop being in my head and kind of down and depressed. And I think a lot of the time he invites other people into his life to make him feel better about himself. But when you don't be gassing him up that way or giving him that type of energy, I feel like that's what hits him and that's what kills him. So I feel like he did cry for you, but I feel like he cries a lot. I feel like he's very sensitive. He's just very sensitive. He doesn't know how to react. He gets salty. He doesn't know how to really react and control his emotions. And I feel like it comes from, like, immaturity. It definitely comes from, like, maybe having a couple of screws loose up top. I just donated the 1555. Okay, butterflies. What you looking for? What's your question? Yeah, I see. Thank you for the PayPal. Those of you that have been dealing with people kind of like dipping and dodging you, or even maybe potentially dogging you, like kind of pushing you outside or trying to make you feel like you're the outlier, trying to make you feel like you're outside the family, or you just not like the family, or, you know, trying to cause all sorts of problems and issues for you internally. It does look like this situation has it's been run through. It's been done. Okay, it's been done before, or you've avoided it before and you can avoid it again. You've cut it off before and you can cut it off again. That's what I'm feeling like. It's not something that is helpful or positive in any type of way, so don't keep entertaining it. Any love interest in 2024? Yes, there is. I pick up on destiny for you, butterflies. So destiny, and they talk about maybe D as being someone's name. So like that maybe the person's name is D or David or something of that nature. Or it definitely starts with a D. I feel like the person's name starts with a D. Let me breathe you, pretty ass right here, 'cause I miss you. Okay, so there we go. Like, there is most definitely somebody that you're interested in. I feel like it's heavy water sign energy. Scorpio, Cancer, or it could, I mean, I don't feel like it's Pisces. And the only reason why I don't feel like it's Pisces is because I feel like you've dealt with Pisces or Pisces affected people before. And I feel like that has always brought you into like a state of mental and emotional anguish. Like it's always brought you into a state of like hating yourself and also hating that person. So I feel like Pisces is kind of off to the side a little bit. And you kind of like Cancer and Scorpio right now are going to be in effect, especially in 2024, because you're going to be all about your emotions and all about like, I don't feel like acting like the pretty bitch anymore. I don't feel like acting like the pretty whore, pretty bitch, or acting like everybody's, sidekick, or I don't feel like acting like everyone's mother. I just want to be myself, and myself might not be what everyone expects me to be, where everyone wants me to be. But I'm just gonna, I see you dressed down and everything like that, butterflies. I see like in 2024, your main thing is going to be like natural beauty or natural expression. So expressing yourself in a natural way where you feel comfortable. And that could be even dramatic to certain extents. Like you could wear something very dramatic and like, you cut through all of the makeup and stuff like that. You more like less like investing into yourself, putting a lot of money into like being natural or feeling natural, feeling like yourself, feeling like you don't need to fit in anymore. You don't need to be everyone's woman or what everyone expects a woman to be. And I feel like this is how you meet this individual, is by exercising your true self or your own self. It's most definitely like Scorpio, Cancer energy. Like I said, no Pisces. I don't pick up on Pisces at all. King of Wands in the upright and Two Cups in the upright. You have a choice. You have options in love. The Devil in the upright could be dealing with a Capricorn. If you are dealing with a Capricorn, this person is going to be water affected. And what that means, a lot of Capricorns are. They have a lot of Cancer. And so that's an opposite. And sometimes with Capricorn being affected by Cancer, it can come off as somebody who doesn't necessarily know what they want out of their relationships, because they don't know if they want a sexual transaction or an emotional connection. And it goes back and forth all the time where it feels like the person is hot and cold because they're in their head. Now, what I realize about you, butterflies, is a lot of the time when people are in their head, you like to walk away. But I feel like this particular connection is going to be something that you want to work on, or you want to take the time to like sort out and figure out what this person wants from you. I do feel like regardless, you have options though. So you might not want to do that amount of work. And if you don't, other people are here. So main love interest I'm going to say is this like Capricorn Cancer mixed individual. Could be like a Cancer with Capricorn placements or a Capricorn with Cancer placements. And Scorpio, heavy Scorpio as well. So the person could have Scorpio Mars, or heavy Scorpio like Moon, something of that nature. Okay. And I feel like this individual is also somebody who they will allow themselves to be humbled by you. And I don't think you've ever met anybody like that, who will allow themselves to be like they'll be vulnerable, right? And they'll actually listen to your advice and listen to you when you talk. And they will be humbled by you. Like they will be able to admit their wrongs. And that's something I don't think you've ever dealt with. It's somebody who's emotionally intelligent and is willing to admit the fact that they're wrong, that they fucked up. It's definitely like not an older. I would say this person might be slightly younger than you even. Now, what I wouldn't do is constantly look, because I feel like this is kind of your thing, right? And this is why I feel like you're gonna get chill and like kind of act kind of natural in 2024, is because like your thing has been like searching endlessly, up and down for a person who accepts you as you, who you are, how you dress, and like I think you constantly search for that. But it's like if you just naturally exist the way that you are instead of worrying about what everybody else thinks, I feel like that's when you're gonna find this individual. And so you can't be like that type of person that's you're gonna string through a bunch of connections, string through a bunch of people, and string through a bunch of Capricorns or Cancers or whatever, and be like, well, yeah, I haven't found my person here, so everyone's wrong. Now all the psychics are wrong. All these motherfuckers is wrong. Yeah, we can be wrong, most definitely, or you can be wrong as well, right? Your energy could be wrong, or your energy could be off, and you need to control that energy and control your emotions enough that you don't go out there and start trying to like frantically search for someone to accept you and love you. You need to accept and love you first. That's what's necessary for you to even find this connection in the first place. So as long as you're willing, right, to be vulnerable as well, and to search and find yourself as well, this individual is here. And 2024, it looks good. Okay, there's a lot of different peoples, a lot of different pickings. That's what's up. That is what's up. Can I ask a question? Yes or no questions only. So everyone that's coming in, yes or no questions. If you looking for something free, if you're looking for a paid reading, just read the pinned comment or look in the description. All right, let me play this. But all new people, butterflies. I don't want you to be like, oh, well, all them old bitches coming back. Like, it sounds familiar. I hate when people say it sounds familiar, because at the end of the day, the familiarity that you're getting is fake and false. What you're looking for is your ex, right? You're not looking for a new connection. If you always think everyone sounds familiar, or everyone's like, oh my God, it's a Scorpio, my ex is coming back. It's because you want that person to come back, low key, even if that person treated you like shit. Straight up, you wanting that bitch to come back, and they will come back through another motherfucker, through another individual. So this is new, and I want you to look at it from new eyes. A new connection. I'm new here. You say, my question is, does Niraj want any kind of relationship with me? Do Niraj want any type of relationship with you? I'm gonna say Niraj wants a sexual relationship with you, Nancy. And I think you kind of ask yourself whether a sexual relationship would even be worth it in the first place, because you're really looking for that fling, like that type of energy and that passion and that fire, like a person who's gonna really love you, like really feel those emotions for you and not use you for sex. So I'm gonna say, like, Niraj wants a sexual relationship with you, and that's about it. Okay? Because we got death in the reverse, which is Scorpio. When you think about a Scorpio, you think about emotional manipulation. Okay? You think about somebody who might be a little bit too cowardly to come forward with feelings and emotions and commitments. They have a very strong reaction towards commitments. It does not like commitments and plays a lot of games, head games, mind games, emotional games. So, and then the devil in the upright should tell you everything you need to know, really. It's just somebody who wants a sensual, sexual connection, and that's it. That's it. Okay? Someone who has like a crush on your physical body. They like your physical form. They like your physical shape. And I feel like a lot of people like your physical shape, though. So, Nancy, be careful. A sexual relationship. And you know you're the type to catch feelings, Nancy. You say you're a Scorpio. You know you're the type to catch feelings from a sexual connection. So, like I said, you know your boundaries. So set them and keep them. Can I ask a question? I have a special needs son. Will my son's father contact me to see our son? Will he? Let's see. Queen of Cups. Justice in the reverse, the Hierophant in the reverse, and the Page of Pentacles. Yes. Now, to see your son. Okay, so this is what I feel, Kat. This is the footwork that I feel like would even have to be done for this. And this is what's fucked up about the situation, honestly. Kat, you're going to have to fight for your son's father in order for him to actually genuinely want to see his son. That's what's fucked up about this connection. Is that this individual has a lack of, like, I feel like this person's really depressed. I feel like your son's father is a super depressed man, a super depressed individual, and he takes it out on everybody but himself. So, not narcissistic, because a lot of people can't make the distinction between like a narcissist and someone who's heavily depressed. He don't take care of himself, and so he doesn't take care of anyone else. And because of that, I feel like you having to reach out and do all that footwork is kind of like the necessary action for him to even want to be a part of his son's life in the first place. And as far as what I see with, you know, him offering like financial help or financial stability, that is something like, it could be a matter of like, oh, you know, he needs to take his son to to the park, or he needs to take his son to all of his appointments, or, you know, he needs this, he needs that, or he needs to help his son with like physical help at home. Like, all of those things are not something that I think this man is capable of. Now, is he capable of like talking, right? Maybe talking on the fucking phone or showing up in person every once in a while? Absolutely, right? But he is also not the type of nigga to be like, oh, I'm going to fully take responsibility for my kids or my wife or my woman or anybody. Very, like I said, a very depressed individual, very scarred individual. Not trying to make him out to be a victim, because he's not. I feel like his family is also like, his family fights him on this. I feel like his family knows, or whoever his new woman knows that he has a child. So whatever the connection is that he finds to where someone can influence him and convince him to see his son, it's going to happen. Okay, I'm letting you know it's going to happen. Now, as far as giving you a time constraint, I don't think I could, just because this depends on him and not you and not your son. It depends on him. It's a him thing. He said, will communication improve with Brian and I in 2024, or this connection is gone? Okay, butterflies. Butterflies, the mini reading is basically a reading on your current situations and whatever comes to mind. You don't have to ask any questions or give me any context to anything. Whatever comes out, comes out. It's not a question, or it's not a direct question. Okay, you got me? So those of y'all that have been looking at the mini reading, it's something more of a general to touch bases on a couple of things happening in your life currently right now and how they might resolve themselves. And that's what's going on. Now, as far as like the specific question you just asked, it's probably going to come out now because you asked, but I'm just letting you know that's how those mini readings work. It's like you just pay for the mini reading and I'll go right into it. Whatever comes up, whatever comes up. Whatever doesn't is whatever doesn't. But it's the most applicable parts of your life, or the things that come out the strongest that you will need to work on. Okay? Thank you, though. Thank you.
On the way next, I got a round of music from
Play
Mac
some
Miller.
music.
It's been
Let me
a
get a
minute
little
since we've been in your rotation, so let's take it back to
water real quick. Of course, cat. Butterflies. So, Billy rating. The first thing they want to talk about is love. So, we'll talk about the thing with Brian. Justice. So, the second thing they want to talk about is you. And your... I think they want to talk about your intuition or spirituality in general. I want to say that you've been feeling some type of way. This could be like depression. It could be like edging towards the edge. And what do I mean by that? I'm trying not to say anything that breaks YouTube's kind of terms type shit, so they demonetize this shit. But you're kind of leaning towards the edge, or you feel like your emotions are starting to swallow you up. And so they want to talk about that. And then the third card, Queen of Cups in the reverse, fear of moving on. Okay, we can talk about those things. Let's see. Fear of moving on, fear of leaving behind the old, fear of embracing new shit because you fear that the new shit is going to be too much for you to handle. And that could be taken in any type of way. So the Sun card in the reverse, your first card, I'll show you this card right here. The Sun represents innocence. Okay, when we were innocent once, or like I feel like that type of energy applies to you in this, Brian. Like when we were innocent, or when we were in love, when we had a strong connection, when we fit each other's so well, like we fit each other's hearts so well. Yeah, so Brian was just somebody who you could look to, and it's almost like you took care of him. Like you finally felt like somebody was taking you seriously at first. You felt like this person could possibly also like not cheat on you or betray you in some type of way. Like this is the first person you actually trusted. It's the first person that you trusted in your adult life. That's what they're saying. And you know there's a lot to do with self-worth within this connection. This person made you feel worthy at some points in times, and then other times dropped you on your ass and made you feel heartbroken. Okay, so they talk about Gemini within this connection or the situation. So the Sun in the reverse in Gemini are kind of paired in this weird fucked up way of like a person is using you as a transaction. It's a transactional relationship. So as long as this is the type of mindset. As long as I'm getting something out of this connection that feels good, right? This could be sex, this could be money, and this could also be like some form of like, as long as this person's stroking my ego type shit, then I will pretend that I'm in love with them. Okay? That's this type of connection. And I feel like that's the type of connection you and this person had. And I feel like that goes multiple sides. Okay. Where y'all almost had to lie to each other in order to pretend like this connection could work and be all right. Y'all came from a lot of fucked shit, right? Especially in childhood. Y'all came from a lot of fuck shit. And I feel like you try to force yourself to be perfect and force yourself past all those issues for this individual. But then I also feel like that is what ruined this connection and relationship. Y'all didn't have the time to work on yourselves or time to work on your past and time to work on all of these things. You couldn't grasp that like there was more that you needed to see in life before getting into a relationship or a connection with an individual that was in the same or similar place as you. Like y'all were in a really, really, really similar place in life, which is not a good thing because you were not in a great place mentally and emotionally or physically. Okay. So I feel like this connection with Brian, it won't change. Because you won't change. Because he won't change. Okay? This situation will never change because it's your past. Okay? And your past, eventually, that shit needs to be worked through emotionally and squashed. And you need to move past it. That's the only way. That's the only way that this situation could ever feel fulfilling is when you move past it. When you leave the situation, when you leave the connection, and you move on with your life. That's the only way this could ever feel right to you. Now, justice in the upright, your intuition, you feel like there's a lot of shit coming out of left field right now for you, especially in romance. I feel like this connection with Brian has taught you to hate a lot of things about yourself. It's taught you to feel and fear it's like you fear being weak. And that's the thing. Fear being weak or fear being vulnerable because a person has attacked you or put you in a position of like mocking you, like making you feel like all your emotions and all of your like your sensitivities are like you're overdoing it. Like I'm trying to explain this feeling of like, oh my goodness, like you blowing shit out of proportion, or you a crazy bitch, you crazy. Oh, you crazy like this, you crazy like that. You have no proof of me doing this. You have no proof of me doing that. When in reality, you have the proof. And the proof is in your feelings. The proof is in your emotions. The fact that this person pulled away from you. The fact that this person no longer sticks to you. It shows that this person is a non-committal motherfucker. And I almost said con. And I feel like that fits the bill. This person is a con. You hate the way you feel about yourself because you know it's brought on by this individual. And you know it's brought on by a lot of the past. And you hate being stuck in the fucking past. You're never enough for this individual. Never, ever enough. There's nothing that you can change about yourself. Even if you had 20 million children with this motherfucker, they would still never care about you. Because whatever brought you together was circumstance, right? Happenstance. It wasn't love. It was circumstance. Similar circumstances brought you together. And instead of learning from them, y'all got stuck. You got stuck. And even though you're incredibly intuitive and you knew that this person was playing with you, you wanted to believe that there was still good there. You wanted to believe that this person wasn't manipulating you and controlling you, and that this person wouldn't hurt you. But they did. And they have. And they will continue to do so. And you know that. Okay. So Queen of Cups in the reverse. Intuitively, this is where I feel like you have only... like a lot of your spirit guides are like, girl, you only have this fork, right? You can stay or you can go. Or you can keep focusing on this motherfucker, or you can leave and focus on yourself. Like they're giving you the two path lines, but you keep trying to create a new one, right? You keep trying to create that middle ground where you're like, well, you know, maybe I can work on myself and be with this motherfucker, or maybe I can keep in contact with this motherfucker and be myself and heal and do this and do that. No, this person keeps reawakening all of your trauma and all of your hardships and all of the doubt and all of the criticisms and all of the fuck shit that you got going on in your head. So the more that you stay in this person's life and keep communicating with this motherfucker, and even if y'all have a child together, I know how important it is to have a father figure or something in it. But when it's not positive, when y'all's relationship isn't positive and y'all aren't capable of getting along, or you aren't capable of being in a commitment or connection with this individual, you need to separate yourself. You need to be responsible for, you are responsible for what happens next, not Brian. Okay? Not Brian. You have all the power in this relationship and connection. You need to realize that, not Brian. Okay? Nobody can save you from this but yourself. Right? And what I heard was like, okay, I gotta save myself from myself type shit. It's like, okay, this individual is just like me. Or I feel like this motherfucker is so similar to me. And you have to see him in you before you move on from this connection. You have to see how negative and fucked you can get in your head before you move on from this connection. That's why I feel. You need to hold yourself responsible for a lot of the things that have gone down and been going on in this connection. Okay? It's not always your fault, but where you do fault yourself is like beating yourself up. Like the way you fuck with your own head and start getting into your own head. Like you have Virgoisms, butterflies. And I don't know if you necessarily know a Virgo, or maybe this is more or less something in your chart, but you have Virgoisms. What do I mean by that? You like to attack yourself in your head all the time, 24/7. You're constantly in the mode of doubt. You're constantly shitting on yourself and making yourself out to be a crazy bitch. When in reality, you're not. You're quite stable, in fact. And you keep trying to gaslight yourself and keep trying to tell yourself that, this is just one of those hard days, or this is just one of those hard situations. And we'll get past this. We'll grow past this, but that's not the case. That's not the case. And it's never been the case. You are not allowed to move past this until you drop this motherfucker, okay, and work on yourself emotionally. It's not gonna work with this motherfucker. I'm telling you. So you gotta stop lying to yourself. Hey Frankie, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I love this. I put this in the background because I was so sick of having the tarp up. I was like, what? I want to put art up. And then I remembered, I was like, you made me a art piece. Or you sent me an art piece. I was like, I want to put this shit up and put it on display. And I just think it's beautiful. So it's up. But yeah, butterflies, that's what's up. You got a tough fight ahead of you. And you fighting yourself. The Tower and the Upright. You fighting yourself. See, I keep messing with my DNA. It's not that you're not doing good, butterflies. It's not that you aren't trying. It's that you're trying in the wrong place. You're trying in the wrong place. Sun Empress Ari. Yes, you can. Ask me a yes or no question. Yes or no question. You're trying to fix another person. Butterflies, you always trying to fix other people. When in reality, what you need to fix now is you. You need to sit down with yourself. Okay? You need to sit down with yourself. And you have to make decisions based on what you want, not what everybody else wants. That's the hardest part. Is that you gaslit yourself into a corner. And you told yourself what you want and what you feel doesn't matter. You have to force yourself into a box, in a box, in a box. You have to force yourself to be the loving wife or the loving girlfriend, or you have to force yourself to be what everybody else wants you to be. And because of that, you still harp on this connection with Brian and with the past and with qualities in yourself that they're not even in existence. If you would just let that shit go, that like you gotta stay focused and you gotta stay strong. Yeah, and you have to take responsibility for the things that you've created for yourself right now. Your body especially is something where I feel like, butterflies, you're gonna be so different in 2024. And I know we talked about that, but like, your relationship with your confidence and your body will be tremendously different. Like, you're beautiful. Okay? You're beautiful. And I feel like 2024 will show that to you. They be talking about like Lana Del Rey and shit like that. Okay, will I get a job this week? Let's see. Getting that mojo. They said getting back that mojo. Yes, you will. So this week it looks like someone will be hitting you back about a job. Yeah, because it said Capricorn energy, so that means there is someone hitting you back about something. Now, is it gonna be the most conventional job or like the hours that you want, or it's like, I don't think that you're gonna get any better than whatever this situation is work-wise, unless you moved, like unless you left this location. I don't think there's anything better in this location other than what's being offered to you. Okay. So let me draw a couple cards and see how you're gonna like this situation, because I'm curious. Because you just have that like no nonsense type energy, and you have drive on you. They're gonna look into your background. They're gonna look into everything. Okay, they're gonna look into that background like very, very extensively.
Up next, I pulled together.
Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles. You gonna get your money up. You gonna get your money up. Wands. No more tears. No more, like, it gives me, okay, so you have like that blood, sweat, and tears type energy where you'll like work yourself to the bone. Or like you'll push yourself to the fucking bone. Where it's like, okay, well, I'll do this, I'll do that. And sometimes you start getting a little attitude. You start carrying yourself in a little different way where you can't even go home and relax. Like, you start freaking out. Like, I feel like you're on a hair trigger. And I said this in the beginning of this situation, which was like a hair trigger. Where it's like, okay, like, you could be in the best mood The best mood. You could feel yourself. You know, you could be getting your nails done and taking care of yourself, and then suddenly like a whole entire wave of like anger and aggression just comes on. And it's not random. I want to make that clear. Stress comes in waves, especially when you're trying to brush everything off your back. Okay? Especially when you're trying to say like, oh, that's water down my back. That ain't no problem. And you're trying to do everything at once. And I feel like whatever this job is allows you to do everything that you want to do and have it be almost potentially stress-free. Okay? Like, I feel like it brings a lot of that like leadership quality that runs with Aries. Okay? Like, you need a leadership position. You need a position to where you can call the shots. You can make a difference. And I feel like that's what's coming. Wheel of Fortune and Three of Wands is like so many options come in for you through whatever this job is, through this connection. Okay? And you sitting here and praying and trying to manifest and all that. Yes. You will be getting, like, this is the second time this card has showed up and I shuffled this shit. So you will be getting your mojo back. You will be getting that drive back. You won't be as stressed out. You'll actually be able to have fun even. And that's odd with you, because you don't fuck around. You don't play around like that. You're very dominant. Like, you don't fear nothing. Especially when people try to put you on the back burner. You don't fear nothing. Or when people try to, like, what do they call that? Judge you at work or criticize you at work. You don't fear nothing. Like, you sitting here like, okay, I could get any job I want. So what? Like, okay, you gonna try to attack me and try to fuck with me. Like, okay, fine. That's fine. I'll just go. And I'll find a place that really, really suits me and who I am. That it is what it is. Like, fuck y'all. It is what it is. Like, you try to get in your head. Listen, people try to get in your head and tell you that you're a horrible worker or you don't work good with anybody. Like, somebody tried to tell you that. Yeah, someone tried to make you feel insecure about the way that you work, but it's not you, it's them. But I just want to let you know that. It's not you, it's them. It's them. They're always insecure around you because you have that big dog energy. And because you're going to get the job done no matter what. The cost is definitely Capricorn energy. People get jealous of that shit. Yeah, you live a, what do they call, a rich life, even though you are somebody. It's like you're somebody who's going to look luxurious and want to feel luxurious and buy luxurious items, but you're going to save up for that shit. Right? You're someone who wants to give that type of energy where you get everything by yourself. You bougie, but bougie by yourself. You don't need a man or anybody to give that to you. You just gonna get your shit and be happy with the shit. And I'll especially be happy showing that shit off, because you're gonna be like, people are gonna be like, who bought that? Like, who bought that for you? Oh, did your man buy that? And you'll be like, the fuck are you talking about? I bought this shit. Nigga, I bought this shit. This is my shit. It's who I am. Like, I brought this shit with my paycheck. That can also be viewed as like, oh, you know, you spend a lot of money, but you spend it on yourself though. Be for real. You're not out here spending no money on no man. You know, maybe you got a dog or a cat, or what, you spending that shit on your dog or your cat, but you ain't out here spending on no man, no woman, no nothing. You said, bitch, I spend it on me. I spend it on my future and my stability and my foundation. That's what I spend it on. Aries energy coming out hard. Aries energy is hitting hard. I said, can you drag me? Vanessa, ask me a yes or no question, and I'll see what I can do. Sexy Red just came out. The Pound Town song just came out. All these songs will give me claimed and shit. I don't know if y'all can how clear y'all can hear the music in the background. Yeah, they be playing all them sassy songs.
But not as much recently. Here's
DDG.
On the way next, I'm good. So I'm gonna do one, bro.
Kat, you said, I wonder if I will find love again after this heartbreak of a marriage I've had over 27 years. I pray for new love. I just want to be loved and happy again. Is he gonna... Okay. Vanessa, and then Kat, I can give you a shorter answer because I've already given you a reading or a free reading. Vanessa. They talk about salty splatoon type shit, so they talk about how salty or how kind of aggressive, passive aggressive this dynamic could be, Vanessa. Vanessa, this relationship triggers you. It triggers you because you're forced to adjust your tone. You're forced to adjust your temperament. You have a temper. You know you have a temper. In fact, maybe it's not even a matter of a temper, and it's a matter of like how you say things. You could be really rough with how you say things or really aggressive with how you say things. And this connection tests that within you. Because you essentially don't want to scare this man's off. But at the same time, it's like the aggression and the anger and all of that, it just comes out and sometimes rolls off the tongue. And then you have to backtrack and sit there and be like, oh, fuck. Like, I didn't mean to hurt you or whatever. Like, you have to sit there because you know you've been disrespectful. You know you got triggered. You know you got hurt. It's hard for you to realize what triggers you as well, because sometimes you're so stuck in that PTSD mode that like you just keep on going and going and going, and at the end of the day you don't even know why you're going no more. So what they're saying is energetically you have maybe taught this person that you passive aggressive. Or maybe not passive aggressive, but that you're just a completely no nonsense. And I feel like it's made this person feel like they can't emotionally be frank with you. That like they can't tell you the truth. So I feel like a lot of the time with this man, he tells you half the truth and not the full truth. Okay? He doesn't want to be shamed, or he doesn't want to be treated a certain type of way, and so he tries to protect himself. And the way he does that is maybe by not saying everything. Because at the end of the day, you affect his self-worth just like he affects your self-worth by not telling you. Right? But I think it's a matter of vulnerability. I think changing your perspective on his situation is necessary. I feel like looking from his side of like how he's been hurt and possibly how he loves people. Like I think you just need to look at who he is as a person. I don't think there's always malice there. Okay. I think similar to you, he can sometimes attack without even really knowing why. And it's taken you a long time to even get to this point of not being triggered. But now I feel like more recently it's been like, oh, it's build up. It's on build up. So it's potential. There's potential for you to freak the fuck out. And what he really wants is stability. Okay? He wants a stable woman. He wants a woman who's going to be able to listen to him. Even in those shorter moments where he's just simply saying like, you know, how he feels or like how he feels that you treat him. Vanessa, you might deny that shit all the way down the road type shit. You may be like, no, I don't treat you like that. I treat you like you a king. I treat you like this. I treat you like that. What the fuck you mean? I treat you like... He's saying how he feels you treat him. And he's asking you to change the way that you say things, right? The way that you present yourself in verbal fashion. He's trying to tell you, like, this type of conversation hurts me. This type of, like, the way you put that shit together, it hurts me. So can you please change your tone or change how you talk to me? Just that. That's all I'm asking. Like, you could ask me these questions and you can be direct, but can you soften the blow a little bit It's not like you're sugarcoating. You're just changing up the way you formulate that shit. Okay? I really don't feel any malice in the, like, as far as y'all being triggered and having PTSD. Absolutely. Sometimes it can be like y'all going to war. But I don't feel like this person is hurt, like is doing anything outside of the relationship or anything like that. I feel like this person is hurting because you're hurting, because he doesn't understand why you're hurting, because you won't tell him what the problem is or the issues are, because you're acting, to him, he views it as you acting out of character. If you would just tell him simply that you're struggling with your self-worth, with your confidence, and you need a little bit more attention, special attention. Vice versa, I feel like you need to start giving him more special attention. Okay? Like, hold on to this connection. Because this is one of those where I feel like if y'all could really listen to each other, don't talk over each other, it can be like deep and loving and continue to grow. Okay? No one, I don't see y'all lying in this connection either. If anything, you're kind of lying to yourself about how, this person might be treating you. It's like, okay, well, he treats me like shit, but is it really him treating you like shit? Or is it him not understanding that he's treating you the wrong way? Because instead of telling him, I don't want to be treated this way, you're reacting. You're being a reactor. And there's nothing wrong with being angry. There's nothing wrong with being sad or upset with something that was said, but you need to be direct during those times. So if you need sometimes to pull yourself back and take some time, and I feel like he does this too. If you need to take some time, whether it be 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever it is, and y'all keep texting each other, but like, take that time. Take that time to think about before you respond. I feel like that's really serious. Otherwise, whatever you say will bite you in the ass. Take that time. Also, Vanessa, you need to start writing about what really bothers you in this connection. Like what particularly, like I said, the things that are worded wrong for you. You need to write that shit down. I feel like that's what's affecting you. Is that instead of saying, hey, like, I'm bothered by the way you say this, or I'm bothered by the fact that you hang out with this person, or do this or do that. Instead of being straight up, you try to lie to yourself about this shit. And then it ends up getting on your nerves, and then you end up reacting, and you end up being way more sensitive about something else later, right? That had nothing to do with why you were actually bothered in the first place. You try to hide. Okay? Start writing shit down, for real. Like I said, this connection to me, as I view it just from the outside, is that all you need to do is adjust the way you communicate. You will communicate from a very insecure space, Vanessa. And as a response, he feels insecure and devalued. Okay? He loves you. He genuinely does. He genuinely does. And he views you as a lover and also a fighter. Okay? If you would just listen. Right? And when I'm not saying like, oh, sit there and let him talk over you and let him try to, gaslight you. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying communicate with how you feel, and this connection could really last a long motherfucking time. Communicate really how you feel. Don't be trying to stab nobody with your words. Don't be trying to bully him. Show the soft side of yourself. That's what he's been looking for. Because he knows you have it in you. And he loves you. Okay? That's what's up. Sun, Moon, Star, thank you for your free gifts. My question is, will the wheel of fortune turn in my favor for love and finances anytime soon? The wait has been long and hard. I'm at my wit's end and the struggle is real. Vanessa. Thank you. Sun, Moon, Star, let's see. Sun, Moon, and Star. It will. It will. Okay, so you talk about the Wheel of Fortune, and I almost feel like they didn't put that card directly out, but I feel like all these cards make up the Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune is like a certain amount of like destiny, a certain amount of fate, a certain amount of intuition, and also a certain amount of like manifestation. Okay, and I feel like the Devil in the upright in the Seven of Swords, you've been hiding your cards or hiding your true energy, your true nature for a really long time. So you've been hiding your struggles, hiding your independence, hiding all of this from everybody else to protect yourself and to protect your intuition, to protect your energy, to protect your emotions. So Sun, Moon, Star, Seven of Cups in the Nine of Pentacles, to me, it reads as 2024 being that year where you can actually challenge yourself to find and to start your journey. So what I pick up on is that you most definitely are like a psychic, intuitive, you might even do tarot, something of that nature, but you definitely psychic and intuitive. You're somebody who will gain a reputation through doing psychic or intuitive readings. So you will gain recognition. You will change your life through using your gifts in order to give other people opportunities. You almost like, you rise in fame as you give to others. So I feel like there's like a lack of commitment with you though, Sun, Moon, Star, where you feel like if you commit fully to something financially, or if you invest in something financially, that it will fail because you're confused. Not because you're not capable of it, but because you're confused at what you specifically need to do. But if Spirit is telling you what you need to do is just be yourself, right? You shine brighter when you're yourself. You don't have to pretend and put like a fake smile on or a fake voice on and be fake sweet. Like, be directly yourself. When you put that shit out there, that's what people latch on to. Okay? They latch on to your authenticity. So financially, right? If you looking into doing tarot, or you looking into doing the psychic shit, or if it's maybe something based off of healing or emotional healing, maybe you're trying to be a therapist or you're trying to be a physical therapist even, like whatever you're trying to do, be authentic, be real with yourself, be very direct. In fact, direct about everything. I feel like that will give you like that like people will feel comfortable with you. They'll feel like they can really trust you. Instead of giving them that fake smile. Maybe you're not having a good day. Okay? Maybe you're not feeling it. And it's the same in love. Right? Maybe you're not really feeling like people are giving you everything that you're trying to get. Like you trying to feel loved. You're trying to feel taken care of. You're trying to finally let your guard down, but you don't feel like you getting that from other people. You don't feel like they're returning the favor. So if you're just blunt about that shit, I feel like things would work out for you. Instead of acting sweet and nice. You know what you say out your mouth isn't your real actual thoughts, right? Sun, Moon, Star. A lot of the time you're being really nice to people because you're scared of hurting them. And you're scared of hurting their feelings. But I feel like some people need their feelings hurt. Especially within love. Some people need their feelings hurt. In workspace, some people need to hear what you have to say. You get shy. Okay? You get shy. Because you don't want to be wrong. But you don't realize how right you are in majority of the situations and cases because you won't put yourself forward in order to experience that. And I know a lot of that has to do with instability of household or instability of environment. Not having the people that really hype you up and make you feel loved and valued. You always feel like you have to do, be like the maternal or the nurturing energy for other people. Like, I have to take care of this person. I have to take care of that person. I have to fix this person. I have to clean up after this person and do that and do this. Like, when in reality, no one's asking you to do that, right? And maybe by nature, you are that bitch. You are that person. But at the end of the day, I think you should be telling people a lot more about what you feel. You know, tell people, like, I don't want to clean up after you anymore. Or I don't want to be that person you constantly have to rely on for, like, emotional support. Like, I also want to be your equal. I want you to view yourself in a better light. Like, I want you to see me and stop seeing yourself. I want you to not be so narcissistic and self-centered. I want you to love me. Right? More than, you know, in certain aspects, I feel like people love they love their insecurities more than they love you. And I feel like that has always been the case, even through your family. They love their insecurities. They love staying in that headspace of being like an aggressive shithead. Narcissistic shithead. Always doing things for themselves. Even when they hate themselves, even when they say, like, you know, I'm the most giving and loving person. I'm the most nurturing motherfucker. These people, not really. Not really. They aren't who they say they are. They really do have like lack of self-respect. Okay. And as a count, like, they also can't treat you correctly. They can't treat you right because they hate themselves. Okay? That's what's up. They hate themselves, so they can't give that to you. You have to move on from those who hate themselves. Because you can never make them love themselves. That's what's going on love-wise. Money and finances, you just got to take that chance. Take out that loan or take out whatever needs to happen financially and stop dancing and pussyfooting around it because you're afraid of losing. Because you're not going to lose. You're just not. You have to believe in your abilities. Stop questioning it. Can I ask that question? Will I find love and be loved and happy again? You will. Yes, you will. Cats. Cat, I feel like whatever connection or relationship you find next might be more... It's not going to be, like, conventional, at least in the way you meet this individual. They do talk about, like, potential to be a connection of, like, you dealing with somebody who's sensitive like you, okay? When you've always dealt with kind of stronger individuals or, like, colder people, emotionally unavailable people, you're going to be dealing with somebody who's just like you, okay? Just like you. Yeah, you've been dealing with a lot of emotionally unavailable individuals. Yeah. Let me grab my other cards real quick. What's strange, too, is, like, I feel like this individual is also not your particular type physically either. So this is somebody, like, who you're physically attracted to, but they usually wouldn't be your type of individual. Or it's like your attraction to them is just different because physically they're, like, different. Like, they could be maybe a different background or a different religion, different lifestyle. Like, they're just not the same. And I think you love that about them, is that they're not the same. Completely different individual. They said it's an air sign or potentially an Aquarius or Gemini. I wouldn't say Libra because I feel like Libra is too codependent for you. So Aquarius or Gemini for you. You will find that person. You will find that individual. I feel like you fall into temptation because it's almost like this individual is not they're not your cup of tea, but because they're so entertaining, you continue to talk to them, and as you learn about them, you also learn to fall in love with them. That's what's up. It's a new individual. It's a new individual. They're not the same as what you've been dealing with. Hey, Mama Lee. You said I'm a Libra? Okay. So you're going to be dealing with people who think similarly to you. But most definitely, if you're dealing with an Aquarius, it's going to be somebody who potentially dresses different from how you would usually take a man or a woman, whatever you're into. Like, they're going to be someone who dresses differently, expresses themselves differently, perhaps does something really strange for work, or something that you're not used to. It's not a corporate job, that's for sure. It's not a corporate job. Could even be like they could play in a band. That's what I pick up on. They could do music or could play in a band. I do like this song. Yvette, you said, is Hugo going to communicate with me soon? I feel like silence is the answer, Yvette. Silence is the answer you've been looking for. I don't feel like this person will communicate with you soon. I feel like this person will communicate with you when they need a place to live, Yvette. This person will communicate with you when they need a place or a person to pay for what they need financially. Okay? So when they're out of a job, okay? When they're out of, staying with different women type shit, that's when they'll communicate with you. Or what I feel like they have a rule, or it's possible that they're living with someone or like a toxic roommate or something like that, and they get kicked out of where they're staying right now, or he gets kicked out where he's staying right now. And once he gets kicked out, then he's going to communicate with you. Okay, so it's not a coincidence. Yvette, I want to let you know it's not like a coincidence that he like hits you up and talks to you after getting kicked out. He genuinely is hitting you up because he's like, yo, like, can I stay with you? Can I fuck with you? Can we get a place together type shit? He's going to communicate when he needs something from you. That's the type of person he is. That's who he is. Like, so if you're expecting something good out of that situation, it's a no. It's very unhealthy. You've been wondering, so Mills, you said you've been wondering about finding your soul tribe, connecting with people you vibe with. Let's see about that. Find out people you vibe with. You a lone wolf or a black sheep, just in general. That's just who you are, Mill. It's hard for you to connect with people because you aren't like anybody else. We could argue that everyone is different, right? But you definitely are different in the way that you think. Your perspectives are very different. You've been through a life that I feel like a lot of people can't say that they survived. You know what I mean? It's that type of energy where it's like you've been through a lot mentally and emotionally. That or your family has been through a lot mentally and emotionally. And because of that, it's taught you so many different things that people your age don't know. They don't know that. They don't know people like you. They can't say that they ever met someone like you. And because of that, they lack like the understanding of how to properly communicate with you. And that's not by the way, that's not your fault. It just shows how everyone else is immature. It shows how everyone else has not matured to a point where they can actually accept someone like you into their life, Mills. And like I said, that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, because there isn't. There isn't. Okay, King of Cups in the upright. You are very empathetic. Very much an empath. Incredibly strong. And empathetic. Six of Swords. Nine of Wands. You're moving on. So I don't know if they're talking about like moving up spiritually. I think that's what they're saying. Not only are you moving up spiritually, but you're also moving on physically. So this could mean like you move into a new apartment, or you move into a new home, or you're making a choice to move jobs, or whatever it is, whatever the new environment needs to be, it's going to create itself. Right? And I feel like it's going to create itself in a real weird way too. To where like it's possible that you was leaning far too much on another person within a home, or like into an apartment with somebody else. Like you was leaning far too much into that situation, when in reality from the beginning you should have been living by yourself or on your own. Like you should have been doing this the whole entire time, or living. So they talk about living in a RV or downsizing. Like it's possible that you need to downsize, and that's not something that you was really willing to commit to, because you're like, I already have my space. Like I already have my space, or whatever this is, they talk about travel with you, and they talk about like an RV or a bus setting or some shit or some dream that you have about doing this and traveling and talking to people and all that. You're going to be capable of that within the next year. So 2024, 2025, I feel like you're going to be aiming for that. The King of Pentacles in the upright and the Strength in the upright, you just that type of person. You a strange cowboy or strange cowgirl type shit. Like you're strange. I feel like that's something for you because you are just that type of bitch. You're strange. You kind of pick up strays along the way. That's what I pick up on. Like, you pick up strays. So you pick up on people who are just as odd as you. In which, like I said, it's not odd because, like, you're a person who deserves to be abandoned by society. It's odd because I think people need to hear you. Like, they need to talk to someone like you. Like, they need to communicate with someone like you. With even though you've been through all that you've been through, you have a high amount of self-worth. You question it sometimes, but you most definitely have a strong sense of worth and sense of self. Like, you might not fully always know who you are, but, like, it's still always kind of, like, you always are there to protect and represent yourself. Strong voice. Very strong voice. So they talk about getting a bus or getting a new car. I would. And I would travel. Okay? I would travel. I would make that change. Downsize. Whatever you need to do. Maybe you've been watching a lot of videos of people doing like RV living or whatever. I would do that. Okay? That is for you. That is a life for you. Or travel is a life for you. Okay? Travel is definitely a life for you. You have that special, like, what do they call that? What do they call it when you're able to communicate with almost just everybody? Like, everybody is able to get along with you. Even the most, like, unconventional people, even the most fucked in the head people. Like, everyone. Like, I feel like you're the type of bitch that can get along with someone who's extremely rich or extremely poor. You can get along with someone who's a drug addict. You can get along with somebody who's a straight-laced motherfucker. Like, you can get along with all these people because you kind of like that camouflage type individual. You remind me a lot of Aquarius. So even if you're not Aquarius, you're strongly affected by Aqua. Okay? You're strongly affected by Aquas. I would. If you're looking for that life of travel or moving across the globe, do it. Aim for that. Save up for that. Or if you're looking for a trip, maybe you're looking for a journey or a vacation, travel to like Japan or Asia. Talk about traveling to Asia. They talk about like specifically like what do they call that? They talk about Bangkok and they talk about Tokyo. So maybe you're looking to travel. There's something for you in Asia. They did talk about your love life too, beating people off with the ugly stick. Everyone's interested in you. It doesn't matter what sex, women, man, everyone's interested in you as well. So they say you shouldn't. As far as everyone being attracted to you, you gotta pick and choose them motherfuckers. Like who you choose to be around, you gotta pick and choose, cause everyone be looking at you some type of way. Will you get pregnant in 2024? It's been a huge challenge. So the emotional commitment to pregnancy is really, really, really hard. Sun, moon, star. And I get that this is something you've been wanting for a minute now. And I feel like the moment that you just relax and allow yourself to physically have just space, like to breathe, like instead of that constant expectations, you know, like I've seen a lot of the couples trying to get pregnant, and it's, you know, it takes years and years and years, but it's almost like a thing of like you need to be mentally and emotionally ready. Like your hormones are also reflective of like your mental and emotional state, and I feel like that's where sometimes when you are like you're constantly like questioning yourself or constantly like you're looking at yourself unhealthily, it can sometimes create a block between you and getting what you want. I'm not a motherfucking doctor, okay? I'm not a fucking doctor. So I'm gonna let you know that now. I'm not a doctor. But what I will say is that people like, people that, especially people who are intuitive, sometimes we can pick up on a lot of like the negative traits, or the negative, like the unstable or instability and stress. And it makes like successful pregnancies or successful like businesses, like everything that you commit to, every commitment that you create, it can make it really, really, really hard on you to maintain. So I would say 2024, it's a possibility, just because we have the Emperor in the upright here. Maybe therapy is right for you. If not therapy, then there is something to do with like getting some type of like inner, like maybe they do like the scraping, you know what I mean? Like I've seen that with people who have trouble getting pregnant. You might need like a little extra help internally, so they do like the shots and the scraping. So saving up money for that might be something that you're interested in which I would. You might just need a little extra help internally. There's nothing wrong. It's not that there's anything wrong with you. I just want to say that. But I would look into like, what do they call? I don't know what they call that. When they do like the interior scraping of your puss and like put the shots in and shit like that. I don't know what they call that necessarily, specifically. But it might be something that you're interested in. Most definitely something worth investing in as well, because like I said, there's nothing wrong with you, and by now you know that. You're like, wow, now this shit is getting crazy, because like I know everything's healthy in there, but you might just need a little bit of help making that shit comfortable. Yeah, they said you need to like face the facts. Like sometimes it's harder for you because you're stressed out. And so you might need a little bit of inner therapy in order to get that shit working again the way that you want it to. Female energy, are you still here? Female energy. Does my Aries miss me? Does your Aries miss you? Nine of Wands. What you hiding from this nigga for? Yes, he misses you. Or yes, they miss you. And I feel like the song is like sitting alone in my room, thinking about what I'ma do. Music can't pay the bills. So this song is about like somebody who's lonely as fuck, who's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do without you. Like, I really don't know what I'm gonna do without you. Like, why are you away from me type shit? Like, why did you leave me? Or why are you away from me? Like, where are you? Type shit. So, does the Aries miss you? Yes. A lot. Music don't pay the bills. Music don't pay for food. Oh, okay. Also, this person's losing sleep over you. So, feeling trapped and kind of losing sleep. Like, where the fuck are you, babe? Like, wait, like, why would you not communicate with me like this? Or why would you try to separate yourself and not communicate with me as much? They forgive you though. He forgives you. He knows you have to do this, or this is something you have to do for the holidays or something like that. He knows this is something you have to do. Like, you have to take space for yourself to heal. He knows that. But it hurts him. But he knows you have to do it. He knows. He also knows that, like, oh, by the way, he trusts you. If that was something that like was put into question for a really long time, like this nigga, like he always be asking me the most insecure questions. He be doing this, he be doing that. No, he trusts you. He really does. He really does. I think you're one of the few women that he really has trusted in his life. And I feel like you don't really trust him. And I feel like he wasn't really giving you that 50-50 that you was asking for. And also I feel like you weren't giving yourself the 100% that you need to be putting in for your own, confidence. Like you wasn't giving yourself that full attention that you needed. So, as far as I'm concerned, he misses you for sure. For sure. There's like issues both of y'all know you have to work on separately. And that might even take getting into a new relationship or a new connection. And I would say like, both of you are not liars. If that's something you were curious about, you're like, wow, you know, I feel like this person, you know, they could have been lying to me or doing this and doing all this crazy kooky shit behind my back. This person's not a liar. You're not a liar either. You're not. So, in fact, it's hard for y'all to lie. Y'all can be so painfully honest that it hurts the other person. So, if you're wondering, like, oh my God, like, you know, this motherfucker was probably lying and doing all this extra shit behind my back. No, absolutely not. No. No. Not a liar. Very, very honest, very direct individual. Does not, and the type of person who would not care if he hurts your feelings telling the truth, he'd rather do that than lie to you. That's the type of nigga. Straight up. Not a liar. But also, like I said, y'all's trust issues needs to be working on separately. So y'all do need this space, and y'all need to be out of that connection, out of that relationship, in order to realize and start rebuilding the structure of security. Hey, Zaria. I hope you're enjoying your holiday as well. I need to take a piss, y'all. I'll be right back. And those of you who are like looking for the free yes or no's, you can just post it in the chat and I'll answer it when I come back. Do this. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me see. Where's my chat at? This shit disappeared. There it is. Let's pull up some music. Let me talk about how some people be looking or brand new to astrology, and you're kind of just learning yourself or learning how astrology applies to your life, because you feel like you can't really trust anyone to read for you or look into it for you, so you'd rather learn it yourself. So there's also significance in like Libra in your chart. So justice in your chart, like very strong air shit. Like you anchored in air. I don't know. They talk about like being very anchored in somebody who's very, very artistic, perfectionist, loud, proud. But you could also almost like, what is it? Like you're able to dissociate and separate yourself from the rest of society in a way that like it keeps you innocent. That's what I want to say. Keeps you innocent. Keeps you involved in life. Keeps you involved. So everyone that you meet and run across, you could always kind of read them. And y'all, I am eating. If you don't like chewing, it is what it is. Okay. It says, I am looking into IVF. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember what the fuck it was called for some reason. It skipped my mind, but good on you for working on yourself. Sun Moon Star, I'm going to look into Divya's question. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, Divya. But you said, will I move back to Chennai? And hopefully that's how you pronounce that. We trying. Will you move back? You're speaking it into reality. Okay, so they're saying that the more that you think about this place, the more that you believe that you're anchored to this place, the more that you believe that you're meant to go back. And I feel like that's not the case. Okay? That's not the case. For some reason, I feel like you're anchored in this place because of your past, because of your I want to say your trauma. Because this place had let you down or failed you in so many types of ways. Because this place didn't bring you stability. It's almost as if you want to go back and fix your past or fix your memories correlating to this place. So that's why you like kind of, you create this idea in your head that if you go back, everyone's going to be appreciative of you or look at you different or believe that you are different. Okay. You look at it as like, this is my inner demons. Like this place is rooted in evil. And then when I go back, they're going to see how bright I am. They're going to see how much I've changed. They're going to see how much I've grown. You know, and I'm going to see the situations that I've been needing to see, like as far as people being appreciative and loving towards me. Yeah, they talk about how this place was a very, you know, it was very roller coaster for you, up and down for you. Because at some moments you felt really, you know, accomplished, and other moments you felt extremely depressed. Like when times got tough, I feel like a lot of people took their stress out on you. So I'm going to say it's up to you on if this is where you would like to move back to. Okay, I don't think that this is a strong yes or no. I feel like this is one of those things of like, it's your choice. Okay, it's your option. and for once in your life you do have a choice in the thing in the way things go, if you feel like called to coming back to this area, most definitely you will go back. If you feel like you are not done yet where you're at, then you will continue working where you're currently at. Okay? Don't close off any options or opportunities. So if you feel like this is your best opportunity to more move towards a certain area, then just go. Kind of go where your heart is telling you, or go where your intuition is telling you. Okay? Make a choice as an independent person, though. Don't make a choice because everyone's calling you back or everyone's trying to force you to go back to a certain area. Make a choice as an independent person. As a person who makes like just totally their own choices. Like as an adult, make a choice. Don't let anybody else dictate that or try to control that for you. Okay? Like, oh, mama's calling me back, or dad is calling me back, or this individual is calling. No. Make the choice on your own. That's what's necessary. So that once, if things are, not as you feel they could be, or if things are disappointing, you're able to start a new chapter and leave that situation, almost instantly. Sun, moon, star. Let me play some music. And also, I'm going to maybe burn a bay leaf. Let's see. Where did I put mine? Right there. Let's see. Where did my ashtray go to? So we burning a bay leaf. For me, this represents cleansing. Okay, so even in the song, Sun, Moon, Star, they're talking about your last relationship and how it had created a totally different perspective for you that you would have never had without this relationship. So as fucked up and as shitty as this is, I'm never going to say anything that is fucked up and shitty was supposed to happen to you, because I think it's really fucked up when people say that. I just don't think that's true. I feel like as people, we sometimes as individuals seek out a different experience, and this was that different experience. Even though it did teach you, even though it did kind of like show you something that you felt for a very long time. Like I feel like you felt like you've always been on edge. Sun, Moon, Star, you've always been an extreme individual. You've always been a very passionate individual, and you've always been a very driven individual. I feel like that person showed you how to defend and to be stronger for yourself. I also feel like that's almost giving him too much credit, Like, I feel like that was giving that situation way too much credit as well. Like, you kind of look at it from the positive perspective, but, like, remember what you chose to deal with, okay? And what was shown to you in your younger years as well. You chose to deal with this because you were seeking out something extreme, something emotionally dependent, okay? Codependent. You were seeking out a relationship that could be, whether it be extremely toxic or extremely passionate, vice versa. You were looking for the extremes because you are that type of bitch. Okay? Excuse my language. But you're that type of bitch. So you did have to escape from it, but in a way you made yourself experience it because you knew that it would, you knew that breaking yourself would break you out of a cycle. And what do I mean by that? That's kind of hard to me. This is harder to explain. Because I'm a blunt type of person and I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but for a long time you were cold, and for a long time it's not like you didn't have emotion, but you had a lack of understanding of emotion, like a lack of maturity. Okay, like a strong like dissociation period where you didn't feel like a person, and you didn't feel like you could even put in the work to being a person by yourself. You weren't strong enough. So because of that, you sought out somebody who you viewed as strong enough to show their emotional vulnerability or emotional patterns. And when you met this individual, while it started out okay, it kind of, was still toxic from the beginning, but it started out okay. It also created for you an emotional personality that you seemed to shut off or turn off because you felt that was right for you when you were younger, or right for you when you were more immature. You felt like you could protect yourself from all the things that would be happening to you at that time. And especially in your younger years, you felt like you could protect yourself by turning yourself into a robot type. You're like, if I just turn this off, if I stop crying, if I shut down, if I leave myself here and like float off in my mind somewhere safer or better or calmer, then I can create a better space for myself later on, or I can have fun later on, or I can reteach myself later on. And even at a really young age, you understood that you would have to reteach yourself how to love, but you also taught yourself that it's not okay to be vulnerable. It's not okay to cry. It's not okay to be angry, to be upset. You taught yourself that, and I feel like that's what everybody tried to teach you as well around you, surrounding you. So I would say that with this particular connection, because it woke you up, that sorry, I'm trying to find the word. I'm trying to find the words to place it correctly, like to not put it in a way where it's like putting you down in any type of way. I'm trying to find the words. You found that without your vulnerability, without your emotions, without your extremes, so without your extreme anger, without your extreme rage, without those feelings, you would never ever be able to get over the things that have happened to you, that have been done to you in the past. Okay, you found out that without those like how do I explain that? You figured out that without those negative emotions, you could never be yourself. Okay, you could never be who you envision yourself to be. You could never be that strong, independent woman. So you went through them within a connection or relationship that was toxic, that was fucked up, that was codependent. You relied on a person to trigger you. You got into a relationship like that purposefully, with a purpose. Not just because you were in love. Okay? Not just because you were in love. You were seeking something out. Okay? You were seeking out drive. The ability to wake up every morning. You were seeking out something really simple and basic, but at the same time, it's like it taught you complex trauma, complex emotions. And then you had to learn those traits. You had to unlearn PTSD. Like, there's so many different things that it taught you. It was fucked up. But it was almost necessary. And I want to make sure that you know that it was most definitely something you knew you had to do, even back then. You knew you had to get into a situation that could wake you up and make you realize your self-worth. Because without it, you felt like a doll. You felt dead. And that's not okay. Especially as a living person. You're not a pin cushion. You're not like you're not a doll. You're not meant to just sit there and look pretty. I think I described that in the right way. As far as what happens next, that's totally up to you. Okay? Because I feel like the healing has happened. So even though you might still struggle with PTSD and anxiety, I feel like the healing has already happened. You've already looked at the situation a million times in a million different angles. Okay. And I would continue to write and to build and to journal about the situation. In fact, I would even, if you're comfortable with it, build yourself to be able to talk about this with others. Because I feel like that vulnerability is a large part of moving on as well. Being able to freely talk about it. Like, nobody's restraining you. No one's choking you out. Nobody's slamming you up against the wall in order to silence you. Nobody's going to hurt you. You are free of this situation. Okay? That's what I feel like. You said, I need a death. You said, how's your holiday going so far? It's going great. It's going really good, Zaria. Starla. You said, okay, I must there's new connection I'm investing. Okay, so let's see, Starla. Let's peek. But yeah, Sun Moon, it's some deep shit. It really is. It's some really deep shit. That's why I kind of struggled in the first place with trying to explain it, because I didn't want to explain it over your head, and I also didn't want to be aggressive with it. It's deep. It's deep. Deeper than even you and me know. But it was necessary. When people say necessary evil, sometimes that really pisses me off, but sometimes there is evil sent into your life in order to change you and wake you up for the better. And that shit sucks, and it really is frustrating, and it really is nasty. And you'd hate to think that spirit is sending you something like that, but in reality, we seek it out. It's not spirit sending that shit. Spirit does not send you that way. God does not send you that way. You send yourself into that direction because you subconsciously know that's what you need in order to wake the fuck up. Okay? To break out of the norms and the usual. We're attracted to it. And we fight that attraction, and we fight that attraction. We stay with that person. We stay with that person. We stay with that person. And then finally we realize what the real lesson and the real situation was. Excuse me. Starla. This new situation. Okay, so y'all are both extremely laid back. I feel like both of y'all, so Starla, you and this individual have both dealt with kind of like, I won't say crazy people, but I would say animated individuals in your past when it comes to relationships. But both of y'all are chill. So two chill pairings can sometimes mean like the best of communication. Oh, I just smacked the mic like that. I feel like they talk about kinks. They talk about sexuality. They talk about freely being able to express yourself sexually with this new individual. And they talk about how y'all are, this is like almost like becoming a safe space, or you're able to communicate very freely with this individual because of the calmness, because of the ability to listen, because this person doesn't blow things out of proportion like the old hoes. Tell me about this individual. Is this a situation that is healthy? That will continue to be healthy? It's a situation. I would say your intentions are perfect with this connection. Wait around and figure out what this person wants. Wait around and figure out what this person's intentions are. Communicate with this person more. Continue to conversate with what you're comfortable with. Okay? Be vulnerable. Even if the situation doesn't move towards a huge commitment. I think what's important right now is that you're being truthful, that you're being honest, and that you're being vulnerable. Okay? I can't guarantee that this situation is going to work out, though. And I think there's a couple reasons why. I think reason number one is because you're both new to this. You're both new to figuring yourselves out and to really communicating the truth. Honest truth about your feelings and emotions and about your past. Okay? I feel like you both have a problem with victimization. So when problems go, or when things happen between y'all and problems start and things go awry, sometimes it's almost like you create a victimhood standpoint where you're unable to get over it because of all the things of your past. Vice versa. I feel like this person does the same exact thing where it's like, you're just like my ex. Like, might say things like, wow, you remind me a lot of my ex, or you remind me a lot of this person, you remind me a lot of my past, you remind me a lot of that, this, that, and the third, right? I feel like it hasn't started yet, but it will start. But like I said, I still feel like it's very important for you to be vulnerable with this individual and for you to communicate with them, because this is going to help you learn your triggers and learn what your boundaries are. And I feel like you're going to be able to create and craft boundaries with this individual that you never have created with anybody else. And because of that, I think you're going to learn a little bit more about yourself too. You're going to learn to be able to control yourself. That's what they say. Controlling yourself. Yeah, because you got to realize that you're different now. You've grown substantially. And because of your growth, he says it scares him how good of a woman I am. Well, I feel like it scares you both. It scares you both. At how much you've grown and how much y'all have changed. And that's why I feel like it needs to continue to change and to grow. That, you shouldn't settle just because you found somebody who's different. But like I said, I feel like this person could still be a good friend to you and still teach you a lot. So continue to communicate. I recently found out that I was pregnant, and it's not the best time for health or financial. I'm thinking about aborting due to my last pregnancy. Will my child's father be upset if I follow through? So, Zari, are you still here? Of course, Starla. Zario. Zaria. We got a lot of people that are trying to figure out like what the right path is for them romantically, even though I feel like you already know what you have to do. It's like, okay, why are you second guessing yourself? Why are you questioning yourself so much? Like, I feel like you listen to a lot of background chatter. So you might listen to a lot of other people's situations, thinking that the same could apply to you, even though your situation is quite different. And in fact, you already know how to solve your situation. What works for you isn't always going to work for everybody else. Deeper than deep, my friend. It was a necessary wake up, but came at a ridiculous cost. I couldn't be more grateful, though. Sucks that I had to distance myself from that toxic lover. I think it always feels like, especially when someone punishes you for everything that you do and everything that you are, I think it always feels bad separating from them, because that person almost created your self-value. Like, when you left that person, your value was growing in your mind, right? When you made that decision, your value grew. And we almost subconsciously connect that growth with that individual and with that person. That it happened because of that person, or because we were involved with somebody like that. And as a response, we also create it's like a crisis, an imposter syndrome is what I want to call it. Imposter syndrome. Where it's like, we didn't know who we were before we met that individual. And once we met that individual, it's like all these things started coming out of us, like all the emotions and all of the love and all of this and all of that. Like, we started acting real. We started wilding. Like, for real wilding. Like, getting crazy. And we think that it's taught to us through that individual or by that individual, but in reality, we're teaching ourselves. Like, subconsciously, we're learning. We're picking up certain traits from that individual and turning them into something that is positive, because we have to, not because we want to. And sometimes we have to do things. Sometimes we have to protect ourselves. Sometimes we have to create boundaries. Sometimes we have to leave. Sometimes we have to learn to love ourselves more than we love a toxic individual. And sometimes we also have to learn that, like, there's no problem with being alone. There really isn't. There's nothing wrong with being alone. And there's also nothing wrong with being in a partnership. There's nothing wrong with those two things as a basis. Okay? You are not stronger or weaker, right? When you're with somebody, you are not weaker. Okay? Especially if it's somebody that you love. We create weaknesses in our head. And then if that person is also a piece of shit, that is what pulls out all of our energy and makes us feel some type of way, and then makes us introspective as a response, to where we're starting to look at everything with a side eye and be like, fuck, like, am I in my right space, in my right mind? You know, is it right to have this and have that, or to do this job and that job, or move here and move there? Like, we question everything when we're with the wrong person, right? But we question ourselves, like our own selves, our own mental sanity, when we're with the right person. Because we start thinking about our self-worth and whether we're adding up to what that person deserves. Because we met somebody who has qualities that we should be appreciative of and should love and fall in love with. So, you know, moving on is kind of a part of that as well. It's like when we're missing the ex, or when we're like, sadly, I wasn't able to get all the things that I wanted to say out to that ex. Like, all of those feelings and emotions have to do with the fact that, you know, you still haven't moved on fully, or you haven't gone through like the consummation of meeting someone new that has the qualities that you want in love. You know, that's when we can finally forgive the past and let go of the past and push that away, when we found something that is worthwhile. Okay, Zaria. He said, I had a stillborn and it was very traumatic for me, and it still affects me to this day. Let's see. I'm going to look at your situation from two sides. I'm going to look at what you feel of the situation, and I'm going to look at what he feels of the situation. And then I'm going to look at the answer in the center. I'm going to look at the answer in the center. So how you feel? Tired. Four of Swords in the reverse. You're fucking exhausted. You're really fucking tired. You don't feel comfortable with this. In fact, you don't feel like this would be a positive journey, or this is a positive mindset for a child, which in certain instances, I want to say that I agree with you, but then there's another aspect of you that I think is kind of not making sense to me, which is Ace of Scarabs in a reverse. You want this. So it's like the massive part, you don't want the trauma. You don't want the hurt that comes from losing a child. You don't want to be re-traumatized, and you don't want to experience that pain. But you also, I feel like, want a child. So I know you're struggling, and I know you're in a state of like emotional suffering. But I feel like your wants and your needs are kind of like, everything's kind of all over the place. Okay? It's all over the place. And I think that's why you're asking for what he wants. Because you're like, if I know what he wants, then I could weigh out the odds of the situation. Hall of Truths is the card that I just got. Hall of Truths. But I feel like sometimes they even just said like victimized, scrutinized, I am here to survive type shit. Like sometimes we put ourselves into like I was gonna say a corner, okay, like a survival state of mind, like a survival instinct, where in order to protect ourselves from feeling the bad emotions, the traumatizing emotions, I feel like, yes, you have not gotten over, and I don't think you'll ever really get over having a stillborn child. But I do feel like there is almost like symbolism of you moving past that and trying something new. And I understand that you having this child would mean like you possibly facing that pain, like firsthand facing that pain, like looking that shit in your motherfucking face, and risking your emotional stability. But there's a part of you, I swear, that wants this. So what's strange is like this is something that trapped you, that tortured you, that made you feel all of these emotions, that made you feel fucked up, stuck, and weak. And you're like, I'm not in the right place to do this financially. I don't feel safe. I don't feel like, I feel alone, right? That I feel alone on this. I feel like, even if I told somebody about this, that it wouldn't, like, I feel alone. I feel like nobody could really help me on this. But I feel like you're wrong. I feel like you're wrong. You're not alone. Okay? You're most definitely not alone. I feel like you do want this. You just don't want the pain. Dealing with the loss of a child is extremely difficult. It is extremely painful. But the birth of something new is just something that you cannot ignore. The birth of having this child, like of having this situation happen for you. And I feel like it's like, so the sun in the reverse is depression. But you also feel like if you figuring out that you're pregnant has been like the most aware that you've been for the past year or so. So it's possible that you figuring out that you were pregnant like snapped you out, maybe not of the deep depression, but it definitely woke you the fuck up. Like you started thinking about all these different things. You're like, oh my God, like I don't have my shit together. I don't have my life together. Oh my God. You're like, shit. Like, wait. You're like, wait, what? How could I be? How could I possibly be? How could that be me? You're like, what the fuck? And it has you more alert and more awake than you have been. So it's kind of like, you know, your feelings are just in between. Like you feel scared, you feel like you don't want the situation to happen again. You couldn't take it, you couldn't handle it. But then you also feel like you do want this. That a part of it would possibly make you feel whole again. Okay? So let me see how he feels. Let's look at how he feels. Let's see. Two of Scarabs. So stability to him is everything. Okay? Financial stability specifically. Stability to him is everything. Having a financially stable home is everything. Being a father or being a parent is everything. Okay. It's financial security, like I said. Making sure everyone is taken care of and everyone is all right. Even if it means almost like sacrificing some of his own wants and needs, he's willing to do that. So we have the Guardian here in the upright and Eight of Swords in the upright here as well, which to me symbolizes also feeling stuck and also feeling hurt, feeling stuck on how you feel, right? Because I feel like you won't necessarily tell him. I feel like what you struggle with is telling him the honest truth in what you feel. Maybe just not just on the pregnancy, but also with your own insecurity. A lot of the reason why you don't feel safe and you feel stuck is because, you know, you're constantly you're scared of his judgment, or you're scared of his reaction to the way that you feel. And I know there's a lot to do with y'all's past and the things that have gone wrong and the unhealthiness of y'all's situation together. And what works and what doesn't, like how y'all always have had to keep space from each other and push each other away in order to take like almost like a break or a vacation from each other, which you should never have to do that, right? Especially if you're dealing with somebody who you're committed to and you love. You should never have to take a fucking break from somebody you love. Sometimes it's necessary to take like a mental and emotional break. And just like, you know, spend a couple hours away from that person, but days, weeks, separation, sometimes does people, I don't know, married people talk about that and be like, well, that's the best thing that ever happened to us because we came back with a totally different perspective. And other people are like, well, that fucked our relationship up, right? Because people did things through trust, like I trusted this person and they fucked over on me. They did me dirty. They did me wrong, right? So, like, I think really y'all are afraid of separation, or he is afraid of separation from you. He's afraid that, like, if y'all separate, that's the end of this connection, end of this relationship. But I feel like y'all will never truly end, okay? Even if it ends up with y'all being friends, even if it ends up with y'all being in contact every once in a while, like, no matter what, I feel like this will never be the end of this connection or this partnership. Like, this is, you guys have, even through a lot of pain, a lot of fuck shit, y'all have learned to cope and communicate with each other, even if it's at the smallest amounts. And I feel like there's Virgo. So he would be open to you having a child. I think he wants that experience. Okay? I think he wants that experience with you. I do. Because there's something about you always being, even if y'all aren't together or romantic or whatever, like there's always something about y'all being connected and loved or like feeling like this is a friendship that lasts a lifetime type thing. It's like sometimes we entwine a positive relationship with being in love or being romantic with each other, even though that's not always the case. Sometimes it's just having a good friend. But this person, if y'all had a child together or have another child together, I think you'd be a good father. But you struggle with the stability part, lack of stability part. Of like, well, I want also romantic connection. I want our child to see two parents together. But you guys can work together. That's the thing. Even through all the things y'all have been through, okay, even if there's no romantic connection, as fucking rough as that seems, y'all could work together as parents. I see that. That's what I see y'all wanting the most of anything. Yeah, the Chariot and the Upright. That's what I see y'all wanting the most out of everything. Seven of Scepters. Like, I don't want, like, even if we don't work out, even if we don't end up in the greatest of places, we'll always give our children that respect and love. That's what we want. Okay? We'll always spoil our children. We will always respect each other. So what popped in my head was, sometimes like Steve Wilkos in those types of shows, when someone comes out and straight out like is calling their baby mother out by their name and shit like that. Like, he's the type of nigga who's never gonna do that, because that's the mother of his child. So respectable, okay, respectable. I can't say he's always done right, because I really don't think that's true. I don't think a lot of the time he's validated your feelings and emotions and giving you what you want emotionally. But I do feel like he is emotionally available to have a child with you. Okay? He would face that. And he would face himself for that. Okay. So let me go in the middle and see what your answer is. Oh, okay. So they talk about Kim and Kanye. So what that reminds me of as well, when you look at, I'm gonna use pop culture kind of as a example. When you look at Kanye's daughter and how she treats Kim, she is a literal reflection of her father. So maybe your baby is going to be a female or a girl, another girl. Your next child will be a girl and will act exactly like her father. And I feel like that's a good thing. I feel like that's a good thing. So I think there's another female, because they talk about the guardian, which to me is a spirit, or somebody who's waiting to be born or waiting to come into your life. That could be taken many ways, but I feel like this is something where it's like giving birth to a child. And this is all up to you, and this is your choice. I just want to make that clear. If you strongly feel like you're not in the right place, and you want to make that choice of aborting that child, that's completely up to you. But what I see here, I don't see anything negative. I see her being a positive. Okay? She gonna be just like her father. Daddy's girl type. And I honestly feel like this she's also gonna be like tomboy type. Just like, if this child is there, this isn't an intentional situation. I feel like it's very intentional. I feel like whoever this is going to change y'all's lives. I feel like that's who she is. Could be, I don't know what type of energy she gives. Maybe she has like very strong Gemini in her chart, but she's not born yet. It's like very interesting how she already has a personality. I don't know, maybe you've known this person before. You know how people talk about like the reincarnation of your grandparent, the reincarnation of this person, that person in your life. Very possible that you've known this person before. or he's known this person before, whoever this is, who you're pregnant with. And it's possible that this is the second go at y'all having a child together, and this is the same soul type shit. This is the same individual who's coming out, who's going to be there with you. The same person who's been waiting on being born. Like, I'm just letting you know that this situation is definitely, it's going to take some communication. It's going to take you communicating what you want with him. Such a strong personality, baby, this one. But I genuinely feel like this is what y'all been looking for. This has been what y'all been searching for. This is what y'all want. You've been missing this energy. Okay? That's what I feel like. And I always want to give you an option and a choice. It does not need to happen, right? It does not need to happen. And they all, you know what they say, right? It's like, if it does need to happen, then it's going to happen again and again and again until it fully goes through. Okay. But this is another chance, another try. Okay? Let's see. Yeah, I feel like you should. I got an all uprights. The star. Aquarius energy. And the scepters. So I think you guys will go through with the pregnancy. And if y'all are struggling with money right now and finances, you're going to find the money. And you're going to find the finances. You're going to find the situation. Okay? Intense vivid dreams and signs and synchronicities. What is Spirit trying to tell me about Timothy? Timothy and y'all have a very strong psychic connection, soulmate connection. I do feel like you are being nudged towards him. And I do feel like this is a situation where you guys have a very strong sexual connection. Milasha. I don't know how to say your name. I hope I said it correctly. If not, it is what it is. I feel like you are being called to this connection, but maybe not for the reason that you're thinking. You guys just are two very intuitive peoples. I feel like you could learn a lot from this individual, and they can learn a lot from you. I also feel like the start to this connection was also very confusing, or the start to y'all's communication was also very confusing because there was a lot of excuses, but then like you kind of ended up obsessed, or y'all had the potential to end up very obsessed with each other. I've been trying to communicate, but he's not for reporting. So now it rests on you, Zaria. What do you want? What would you like to do? What would you like to do? Milasha. Why does this feel like one of those like really passion-driven relationships where y'all really are addicted to each other to the point of like even when y'all do something really fucking toxic and fucked up? But this is something where I feel like y'all can do toxic, nasty shit to each other and always come back. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And I don't really like that energy because I feel like that's like a soul attachment. Not a soul tie, not a soulmate, a soul attachment. So somebody who comes into your life and attaches to you based on circumstance. Okay, based on similar circumstances or circumstance where it's like, oh my God, like we're a match made in heaven type shit, where y'all convince each other that that's the case. I just don't want to jeopardize moving. I don't think it will jeopardize y'all moving. Okay. But Milasha, I also feel like in this situation, this is someone who reminds you of your childhood or makes you feel giddy inside like a child. So I don't know, man. I don't like this situation. I'm gonna just say that this person is very immature. I feel like this person reminds you of when you were able to be free and immature and have fun, and they remind you of a time prior to you being like grown and having grown people responsibility. Okay, I felt like this person like awakens a very giddy and fun side of you that you could experience by yourself. You could. It's just you don't look for that, right? So this person coming into your life, I think y'all both are aware of this. It's like y'all drawn to each other. But it's not for a reason of like, oh my God, this is my soulmate. It's for a reason of like circumstance. You're looking for yourself and you're trying to find yourself. And I think he's also looking for that. And I think y'all connect because you guys are similar people. Two similar people on two similar spectrums creates sometimes a very, very toxic vibration. You're young. That's what they say. You're young. Immaturity shows through this connection. Immaturity shows through you and this individual. Or he's young. You know what I mean? You want to stay peaceful and kind of like distance yourself from the situation. That's what I see. I feel like they talk about the life you could have had. Okay, I don't know the significance of that, but maybe it's like if this person maybe just changed just a little bit, then we could have been in a good connection. We could have been in a good space. Like, stop thinking about what you could have been. Start thinking about what you are right now. That's what they talk about. What are you right now? What are you aiming for right now? Who are you moving towards, or what are you moving towards right now? Stop thinking about what you could have been. Like, it's just very immature connection. It triggered all your fears and everything like that, but very passion driven, very sexual. Very attracted to each other. Because y'all were willing to chase each other 24/7. Yeah. Not a fan of that. I think letting him go was a better option. It did change your life, though. I would look at it that way. Very innocent relationship. Too innocent. feel it was for the best, but was I in the wrong? Currently feeling lost career-wise. Are you on the right path? Yes, Jonathan, you are. You just need to stop talking and start trusting yourself. Yeah, they said fuck around and find out. Like, you gotta like follow through with it and stop questioning yourself. You are on the right path. You are. And they even just said it. You get lost in your thoughts sometimes. Your negative thoughts, your negative thinking, your insecurities. Because instead of just trusting yourself, you want to constantly question this shit because other people question you or have questioned you throughout your life. So you need to start following through. Stop questioning whether this is the right path for you because you know it's the right path. You know it's the most successful thing going on right now. So hold on to that. Stop, I think a lot of it comes from your financial background. So where you come from, what type of family you were raised in. Might have been raised in a family where it's like, even when someone would find success, they self-sabotage. Like, so they would find financial stability and they would sabotage it, or they'd fuck it up in some type of way. And so you constantly viewed your parents or whoever raised you in a state of loss, in a state of like, emotional like destruction, because they created a lot of fucked up situations for themselves that essentially they could have avoided by not being like a fucked up person. And I'm sorry to whoever I'm talking about in your life, Jonathan, because I feel like a lot of this person's mind space is because of mental and emotional anguish, like always meeting the wrong people, always getting fucked over. But I feel like they also need to take responsibility for themselves. And as a response, Jonathan, I also feel like you need to take responsibility for yourself. Because everything you're experiencing right now is because of you putting the hard work in. Not because of this person, and most definitely not because of anyone in your life. You've put yourself in this position. Okay? You've built this up. Don't self-sabotage. You paved your own way when nobody knew how around you. So, let's be real. You did that shit. You can ask a question, yeah. Mills? I'll also answer you just real quick though. Were you in the wrong? No. Mills, you were not in the wrong. You bonded with them out of dependency because you were looking for somewhere to belong. And while you felt like you belonged there for a second, Mills, with those two people, you also learned that it's okay for you to journey off and build by yourself and build things for yourself without having, like, it's not necessary for you to have those people in your life as support. You learned that some of the negative mindsets and the negative things that these people was doing has, it's almost like altered your perspective on relationships. It's made you feel like you a lot of the time will go towards situations and connections where people need you. Okay. Like, instead of wanting you and wanting to love you and wanting to grow with you, it's like they need someone like you. And what's the difference? Okay, let me tell you the difference, Mills. The difference is someone who needs you will always find a way to pull you back in, always find a way to victimize themselves and hurt themselves in order to pull you back in, and will constantly talk about how you are the one who saved their life, constantly talk about how you're their only friend, you're my best friend, you're my lover, you're this way, you're that way, constantly talk you up in order to make you feel good about yourself, and then within that same next moment, take you the fuck down, right? With all of their shit, with their baggage, with the shit that they're supposed to go through by themselves on their own, okay? They're going to tell you all the things that you want to hear. Someone who needs you will tell you everything. Someone who wants you already knows your worth. Someone who wants you already knows your worth. They already know their worth. And they're not going to project onto you. In fact, they're going to comfort you. They're going to ask you whether they can use you as a safe space. They're going to ask you how you are, how you're feeling, whether you're emotionally, okay enough to hear certain things. They're going to place boundaries with you. They're going to be concerned for you. They're not going to treat you like you're just some therapist. They're going to treat you like you're a human being. Okay? That's the difference. And you were attracted towards the type of people who need you. But you're not a savior. And you got to know that shit by now. You're not a savior, right? You can help people with their healing that are in similar positions to you, but you are not a savior. Okay? The people who want to heal will, right? And do. But people who don't stay in that same limbo, nasty ass experience. And then they start making you feel down. They start making you feel insecure about your own life because they talk so much shit about themselves. They're a martyr. Not a narcissist, a martyr. That's what we call a martyr, folks. I needed to withdraw myself from that. Absolutely, because it drains you. It drains you. It really does. It's codependency. The people are so dependent on you that, like, without you, they hurt themselves in order to get your attention. Without someone like you who is a healer, who's a compromiser, who's going to sit there and compromise their own, mental health to help them and love on them, like, they need that. Like, that's what they need. That's what feeds them energetically, and that's what drains you. That codependency. So you separating yourself from that was the right way to go. It would have never turned into something healthy. That's for sure. No matter how many times you communicate with them that you were uncomfortable. Yeah. Sometimes silence is an answer, Mills. Most definitely. That's the only answer you need. People are ungrateful as fuck. Damn, that bitch was... Ooh. They make that Cheeto like a fucking rock. God damn. I'm trying to break my teeth. Come on, Cheeto. I don't usually tell my stuff anywhere, but thank you. This made me feel like I did 100% what was right for me. You did. And you did. You most definitely did. People that really fuck with you will treasure you. They'll be scared to lose you. And they'll straight up tell you that. And that's how you know you're not just a replacement or like a like replaceable. Like they'll just take anyone who listens to their bullshit, right? But someone who really values you will be afraid to lose you. Will A go for divorce or give the marriage a chance? Let's see. Alon or Alan. Alan. I want to say Alon. One of them tried to reach out. And it was like, nah, I'm good. Good. Oh, yeah, they realize your fucking worth way after the fact, right? Alon. Alon, I feel like commitment in marriage was not for A from the beginning, from the get-go. There was benefit in A getting into a marriage in the first place, and I feel like it was financial. Okay? It was simply financial gain. As fucked up that as it is, I just don't feel like this person from the beginning was into marriage. But they felt like they had to. For financial security. Yeah, I got the Dine and Dash card. That should tell you everything. You know. I wasn't hungry until I started hearing you chewing. Hey, Chris. Good to see you. Hopefully your Christmas was good. The ASMR. Everybody always wonders why I drink with a straw. It's teeth. My teeth need to be white as white. I ain't trying to fuck my teeth up. I stand my teeth up. I keep them shits nice. I don't know why I just thought of that. Maybe someone's having a toothache. Sorry about that. He's going with divorce. I would say so, yes. I see the falling in the face. Niggas mad cause I get paper. It's satisfying to hear you eat. I love watching those videos. Thank you. I guess I'm just realizing now that people really do like to hear that. Like, it's comforting. Hearing like the eating and the chewing noises. Because I'm not a big fan of that ASMR, but I know a lot of people are though. Those videos want to have millions and millions of views if that wasn't the case. See you as per usual with your amazingly gifted ass. Thank you. Stop flattering me. You're trying to flatter me. I'll take it though. Thank you.
I need a spice girl. Ziggy, ziggy, I fuck up my whole world. Pause when she talk.
He said, but for different reasons. I always drink with a straw though. No shame in it. Where did my... Oh, I covered it. That song was really good. I'll call you a whole vibe. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love getting out here because I feel like no matter what y'all just be vibing. I don't think I ever really catch people who have like needy ass energy unless I'm in the wrong energy. I'm not sure what a Charlo. I know what you meant, but I feel like we always getting good vibes up in here, which I appreciate. I really love. It's Toy. That's me, Toy. What are you doing? It's been a second. What are you doing? How was your Christmas? I miss you too. We getting everybody popping up in here. Happy New Year's to you too. Hopefully everything's been going well. Feels like it has been. Someone's doing something right energetically. Or someone up there is playing around with something like, I don't know. I've been feeling good. How was your holiday? I cooked like a motherfucker. 15 hours of cooking. 15 hours of fucking cooking for that bitch. But it was worth it. It was worth every single penny and every single hour. That shit was good. I still got leftovers. Oh my goodness, it was good. He said if I could meet folks with that type of energy, I feel like, yeah, I found a soul tribe. The chill type vibe. Chill but real. We stay chill, but we also stay like I have my days sometimes where I get a little like I go at the jugular. But I feel like some people need it and some people don't. Can I get a damn plate? Sure. I'll free some for you. Show up when you could show up. Show up and show out. But the food was so amazing. And I cooked every single day. We did the prime rib. I think that's my second time doing a prime rib. But this time I really went all out. Chris. Chris be trying to lay it on thick. And miss the mark. I love that. Chris said, I'm trying to lay it on thick and box it up. Chris, what's your sign again? I can't remember. FedEx, I'll FedEx. I feel like a whole new grilling with my skillet. Yeah, no. I for the most part, I'm a good cook. I would say like majority of the time, I try even when I try something new, somehow it all works out. Even when I manage to fuck something up royally, it always comes out in the way that I wanted to, so or needed it to. It's creativity. I think good cooking just takes creativity. I'm reporting you from real. What you mean you're reporting me? Listen, usually we would have turkey, but I got so fucking bored of that. You can't slip that in. I'm saying I got so bored of the turkey shit. I was trying to have something a little bit more fancy, a little bit more shocking to the taste buds. I mean, when I eat a meal, I don't want to be bored with it. I need new recipes too. I got you. We did prime rib, mac and cheese. I did a bunch of sauces for the prime rib and everything else. Corn, mashed potatoes, baked sweet potatoes. We did everything. Everything seasoned to the nine, so nothing tasted bland. Trust and believe. I would never do nobody like that. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna say something. But I did a double take because I know YouTube's like, listen, you already on our fucking hit list. You already on the white list, so I'm just saying. Or the blacklist, my bad, the blacklist. You already made the blacklist, so Don't say it. I held it back. We did apple crisp. I have a recipe, my grandmother's recipe of apple crisp. They ran out of fucking cran. I wanted to do the my grandmother's cranberry relishes too, but that for some motherfucking reason this year people wanted cranberries. It's like every other year that we've done this shit, we've always been able to get cranberries, but this year everybody's running out. So I did the apple crisp instead, and I did not do my pumpkin roll. But I don't know. I just wanted to do, to me, I was like, I'm already doing something new. It is what it is. Now you showing off I'm hungry as fuck. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm hungry as fuck too. I want some of them leftovers so fucking bad. Mostly because, listen, it's mostly because I know I have to eat them up so that they don't go bad. Because you know how it doesn't taste the same. Damn. My friend had said his cousin did mac and cheese and it was too salty. I was like, damn, she didn't try it before serving it. You have to. That's what I mean. Creativity. You need to try this shit every step of the way, even when that shit's not even fully cooked. I'm just saying. You gotta see what that shit tastes like before you put that up down people's neck. Unless you all trying to be on top of each other in the bathroom. Y'all all trying to sit on each other's lap on the toilet. Like, come on now. Come on now. I've only cooked not so legal options. I have as well. I've cooked that too. But they do now. It is legal options in New York. I'm not a big fan of edibles though, because they make me trip balls and make me anxious as the motherfucker. Like as much as I don't even really smoke that much anymore. Now I just take a drink, a couple of, sips of a drink, and I'll be good. But edibles tear me the fuck up. I love it. Now everyone like different things, but I like to feel like I traveled when I eat dinner. I said that shit. I said that shit yesterday too. I like to travel when I eat my dinner. Like, I'm not sorry for that shit. If somebody don't like it, they don't like it. They can shut the motherfucker trap. I'm the cook in the motherfucking house. I'm the cook in the house. You don't like it, you go eat somewhere else. Yeah, everyone loved it though. So, they taste better once that seasoning sits on it. I love leftovers. I love leftovers too, but I feel like there's a 3-day window. Okay, the 3-day window is like either you freeze that shit or you eat that shit within those 3 days. And like, of course, I'm always willing to have leftovers. I don't have a problem with leftovers. It's just 3-day window. 3-day window. Human Centipede Holiday Edition. Chris, you wild. A little wine. I do love wine. I like red wine. I do like rum. Rum is okay. Like, I be drinking rum recently, but that's just because what we got on here. I like vodka a lot better, and people think I'm a monster for drinking vodka, but I like vodka cranberry. I love how my stomach said wrong when I said vodka. My stomach said wrong. Like, my stomach said, making you crazy for drinking that poison. But, hey, it's why the fuck not. Agreed. You sound like you do cook good though. I look like I cook good. Nah, I love food. To me, that's what makes a home. And honestly, it's calming. It's really calming to me. It's very calming. Also, I mean, just in general, like being behind a pan or whatever, or cooking up what I need to cook up, like that's a helpful skill. I think everyone should learn how to cook. Even if you're horrible at that shit. Even if you're shitty. Learn how to cook a fucking pancake. Girl or boy, learn how to fucking cook. If you can't cook a fucking pancake. Or get a fucking waffle maker. Like, how do you fuck a waffle maker? Have you ever seen someone catch a waffle on fire? Like, just Something easy, something really super fucking basic. Cooking is a skill you need, especially when you live by yourself. Though I don't, I cook for everybody, so. I want to figure out how to how it sounds to cook good since I actually can't. That sounds way yeah. So do like a waffle or something. Get the waffle maker. Get the waffle maker. He said Moscow Mules. I think you need another channel because I want to know. You want to know about my cooking? You want to know about my cooking? The secret recipes? Not a secret. Not really a secret. He said, I'm serious. I want to make a podcast, y'all, but where I would talk about all that shit too. And maybe we would do cooking on that podcast, but people already listen to me like a podcast, I figure. It's like, but me and my mother been wanting to start a podcast because me and her are two very extremely different people and extremely different personalities, but we always come to the same consensus. We're interesting folks, me and my family. It's all on point. Very, what the fucking things I could cook is a pancake. That's what I mean. Out of the bag, man. That's what I mean, though. At least you could cook that. At least you could cook that. Not a lot of people can say they can cook anything. There's a lot of people who fucking suck at cooking. But as a skill, you need that as, you know, if you're a college student, a parent, especially a parent. You need that skill. Just cook a pancake. And some ASMR. I should just start 20 different channels, right? Do a vlog. I tune in. Yeah, most definitely. We talk about everything and anything just because that's the way our mind works with ADHD. It's everywhere at once. You said, hey, yo, please do it. Okay. We'll get started on this shit. We'll get started. But I want to talk about everything. Most of it will probably be mental health related. And like talk about stigmas and all that type of stuff. Shanice. Yes, it is. Ask your yes or no question. Not Hispanic. A lot of people think I am Hispanic, but I can't say I was raised by Hispanic households. I was raised around a lot of Hispanic households. I was always drawn to those type of households, and I think it's just because of the similarities with raising, how I was raised. But my, I'm white and black, basically. I'm Haitian and English and Italian. Mostly Italian and Haitian. But a lot of people, they're like, you gotta be like Dominican, or you got something in you, cause the cooking, you know, the loud and proud personality, or you roll your shit. Like, no, just very influenced by those households. All my friends growing up was Hispanic. Majority of my friends were Hispanic or black. And my family being like very open to all those types of peoples for the most part. It's just the way we is. New York. I'm from New York. Upstate. So there's a difference between upstate and the city, y'all. Okay. Not a big one. It's really not a big difference, but the people are still the same. The people still suffer. Yeah, from New York and all. And we still got big heads in the upstate. But we just a little bit different. We're more like country livers. I think we just live outside of ourselves a lot of the time upstate. I've always visited the city, and people always think I'm from like Queens and stuff like that. You know, we're not that different, but like at the same time, it's just a certain part of me where I don't like being around people like that either. I just don't like people. I feel like you kind of like gotta either really, really love people or really, really hate people to live in this city. It's real cold. It is real fucking cold. It is real fucking cold. Well, okay, so recently what's weird is that it hasn't been cold. So it was snowing probably about a week ago. But right now it's in the 50s. Can you believe that? It went from being like below zero to now being in the fucking 50s. 50s. Okay, where'd my mind go? It's just some weird shit. I don't know what's happening right now. Usually by Christmas, we would have it being real motherfucking cold. We'd have the black ice and everything. Everybody playing bumper cars. Like, we would have that shit, but not right now. Strange. Weird. I'm coming to this city for New Year's. So, watch out. So, Shawnice. And then Mills, I'll respond to you. About New Yorkers being rude. There is a stigma. There's a stigma. So, Shawnice, your best friend. Why does it feel like to me... I'm going to say this. I think you right in your type of thinking where you're like, I definitely have to separate myself because this situation I don't think will ever be like right. I don't think I'll ever forgive this person for what they've been doing or for how they act towards me. Shawnice. That's what I feel like is happening right now with the best friend situation. I feel like your best friend has been like a sibling to you. A sibling. Like, especially when you were very, very introverted or kind of more shy. I feel like this person was that person. Okay? I feel like they were that bitch or that person. That could be honest to you. That can be forthcoming to you. But at some point that changed. I want to say what changed was her honesty and the fact that she was doing shit behind your back. Or saying shit behind your back. I want to put emphasis on the fact that she, I feel like, got too comfortable in your personal details and started telling your personal details or spinning your personal details in some type of way. That or telling people about how you feel, even though you shared that with her specifically, and you try to keep that in confidence. You're like, well, like, this is... I think you try to explain, like, you know, this is how I feel about this person, or this is how I feel about this situation. And then this person, either they try to go and tell, or it's like she run her mouth too much to other people, potentially even strangers or people that y'all mutually talk to and communicate with. And that's not you. You don't put up with that type of shit. You are very, like I said, introverted. So even though like this person brought you out of your shell in certain respects, you're still introverted. You want a small, tight-knit group of peoples to where you can trust them and love them, and they can do the same for you and support, right? You're also not that type where you like to play like the childish games. Where it's like telephone, somebody tells somebody something, and then it goes down the line and turns into this big fucking episode. Like, you're just not that type. I feel like this person looked up to you at some points too as a mother or as somebody who also helped them grow. Also, can I say something? Is your best friend potentially a little bit on the edge of like bisexual? Because I feel like this has crossed a lot of boundaries, like unnecessarily so. I would say there's a little too much here. Too much obsession and too much of her paying attention to your details. Like, just way too much, crossing boundaries. Like, I feel like she got a little bit of a crush on you. I feel like she was so used to being like the weird kid or the person who was constantly in denial about their like sexuality. So I feel like that also had put a strain on the relationship. And that's why she started telling your details too. It's out of jealousy because she wanted to be with you, or she wanted a connection with you that was deeper than what it was, but you weren't able to give that to her. And I don't think you would have, just because that's not the type you're just not that type. Okay. You're not that type. You don't roll that boat. And I think that you try to be real nice to her and treat her very kindly, but like nobody ever really has before type shit. But like I said, it's just not that type of relationship. And I think you try to explain that to her. And I think you told her to take a seat, or you need to step back and you need to calm down and think about what you did type shit. And I feel like she lied on you as a response to that. It's possible that you rejected her in some type of way. Maybe you rejected in advance, or you rejected like her. She felt rejected. That's what I want to put out there. She felt rejected, and you didn't mean to, right? But she also didn't tell you. She also didn't tell you that she felt rejected. Instead, she ended up lying on you and talking shit on your name. So I would say this took a very unhealthy turn. That might have been innocent in the beginning. That it is right for you to walk away from this situation. I don't think she's going to change. I do think she's childish. I do think she's got mommy issues. And so she attached to you in a certain type of way. And then it became a little bit more emotionally than what both of y'all bargained for. And yes, I think a lot of that was because she ended up developing feelings for you. Romantic feelings. Or, ended up loving you a little bit more than possibly she should. Because essentially, even if she does love you, she shouldn't be relying on your motherfucking name. It's like, somebody who loves you wouldn't fucking do that to you in that type of way. Even if you didn't return her fucking feelings. Even if you were completely disgusted by her, right? It still you don't do certain types of things. It's like you make a choice by like declaring this person your best friend and declaring this person close to you and like family, and then they shit all over that because they're jealous, because they're salty, because you rejected them. Come on now. That person's not really your friend. They in it for themselves. So I would leave that where it's at. Distance. Put your hand in the face and say, We're going to be where you're going to watch the ball drop in person. Yes, I am. I've been to a lot of events in the city, but I have never been to that one. I've been to a lot of underground events, and I've been to the music events, but I've never been to the ball drop. And that's one of the things that I wanted to do for a real long time, especially before I move. So, yeah, I'm showing up. I'm going with a chick. I'm done with her. Thank you. I'm going with a chick. They're taking a little vacation, couple days. I'm going to be in that area for about a week. You believe in past lives? I absolutely do. And it may be in a little bit of a different way than most people. I believe that we do come back several different times. Many times. You got to be outside, really. Yes. I've read up on what I need to do, and I've talked to people that live there that was like, you crazy, nigga. You fucking nuts. You got to be out your motherfucking mind. And I said, yep. I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Out my motherfucking mind. You got to be out real early, and I just made a bunch of reservations. I made a bunch of reservations. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what falls through, what works, what doesn't. But I can tell you something. Like, people been saying, like, oh, we be wearing diapers and shit like that. I'm not that hard to see the ball drop. Okay? I want to see the ball drop, and I want to experience that for sure. Okay? But I'm not that hard to motherfucker. If I got to go take a fucking piss, I'm going to go take a fucking piss. If I got to go take a shit, I'm going to go take a shit. If I don't get let back in, I don't give a fuck. That's how I feel about it. I got my reservation so I could take a piss or a shit in the restaurants. But I'm just saying, if something don't work out and I gotta take a piss or a shit, I'm not gonna sit there and deal with it. I'm gonna walk. Okay, because it's a free event, motherfucker. I can come back another year if that's the case. Watch that shit on TV. Don't try to tell me to bring a motherfucking diaper. Don't try to tell me I can't go to the bathroom in your motherfucking restaurant. Motherfucker. Well, that shit scared me though. Bitch. I'll Uber out that motherfucker. I swear to God. I don't care. You think I give a fuck? Like someone was telling me, there was like, I hope you know you gotta wear, y'all motherfuckers gotta wear a diaper because y'all be showing up 10 hours earlier. Yeah, I'm showing up 10 hours earlier, but don't they got stores and shit too? Like, I'm confused. So you were telling me they close off the bathroom stores in the stores or in the places? Like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, y'all could even have it so like you could run someone's credit card as they go into the bathroom type shit. Like, you literally could have that shit. You could have like a block on the bathroom and check yourself into the bathroom. Like, y'all are missing out on some finances. Like, cause motherfuckers have to piss in the cold. So why would you X us out of that shit? Y'all gotta put like a whole lock on that shit. And put a fucking credit card scan on the bathroom. Like, y'all missing out. Don't block people out of the fucking bathroom, bro, motherfucker. Like, ain't nobody want to be smelling that shit neither. Like, there's 1 million people in one area. Ain't nobody want to be smelling that shit. It's not that serious because Five Guys and McDonald's and other restaurants should still be open by 42nd Street. Yeah, I got reservations already. I'm not worried. I got reservations. Still pissed me off though. When I read that, it really did piss me. I was like, so you telling me they bar out the motherfucking bathrooms? Really? That's so stupid. Like, that's retarded as shit. Now I got off. Now YouTube's gonna bar me up. Hey, Isabella. Yeah, for real. Like, I will Uber the fuck up out that bitch. But yeah, I know that part where they do have restaurants open. When I made the reservations, I was like, this will just be a place to chill for like an hour and 30 instead of having people run me out my food. Like, I ain't trying to do that neither. Eat out in the cold. Like, let me in, motherfucker. Let me sit down, motherfucker. But okay, back to meals, back to the spiritual, back to the occult, back to the occult. I sent you a mini update. I'm missing my pookies on vacation for 2 whole weeks. I'm about to go on vacation for 2 whole weeks too. No, so basically. I believe in past lives, but in a real weird, like, familial way. I think a lot of our memories are passed down from family. So who we are is who we will always be, right? Bloodline wise. So I believe memories and our past lives are passed to us through blood, through body. Okay? Because I believe a life is not it's not necessarily always connected to the soul. I think the soul is a separate entity, right? A soul, to me, whether it does not have to necessarily be human, you know what I mean? It could be an animal, it could be a tree, like kind of more the animism aspects of a soul, because soul is energy. But I most definitely believe that human beings, right, have a where they are capable of tapping into past life memories through bloodline. So experiences that their ancestors have been through, their bloodline ancestors, people connected to them through blood, because we have millions of years worth of history in our blood. it just, to me, it wouldn't be odd that you could tap into a lot of your instincts and your intuition from the past. I think we're all connected to that. We can argue that, oh, we're all connected by blood, but some people have higher quality blood than others. Let's just put it that way. Some people connect far more than others. Some people are actually tap into that shit on a daily. There's still some people who never ever think about this, not once, not ever. They don't think about tarot. They don't think about intuition. They don't think about being psychic. They think that shit's stupid, or they're skeptical, whatever. They don't tap into that shit ever. Not at all. But we all have those dreams. We all have those dreams. We all have those thoughts. We all like kind of dream about being different people or very specific instances of history, and being involved in certain situations. I do also believe that we go through cycles where the same or a similar incident happens multiple times. And why that is, I have no idea. But I do believe that happens. And I dream often. You said I've dreamt about being in the 1930s, weirdly. I dream often about being in the 60s. And of course, that's like the prime time of when my grandparents were traveling, and they were teaching black students. I dream often about the 60s. I dream often about the 40s. Like, and I don't know if it's because I was raised by my grandparents. I was raised by that bloodline. But I even dream about like the Viking shit. And that was something I did not connect with at all. Like I'm way into voodoo and Haiti and Haitians and West Africans. Like, I'm way into that. I was not into that side of like Vikings and all that type of shit. But I know that's a strong part of my bloodline. My grandmother's a redhead. And, you know, a lot of her DNA is Danish and Swedish. It was Danish and Swedish and stuff. So I know that was a very strong part of my bloodline regardless. And Irish as well. Celtic, whatever. But I never really thought about that until I started having really weird fucking dreams correlating towards symbols and that type of people. And of course, there's no like history necessarily to look back on, like historical books. I don't really trust many books at all when it comes to history, because I just don't believe that people do a accurate retelling. I just don't. I don't. I think the story changes as they go. Okay, whether it be for malice reasons or for reasons that of like, you know, they just don't want to tell their truth. I just don't believe a lot of the time in the books. It's hard for me to believe that. And I'm still a very scientific person too, so kind of like ebbs and flows. I choose what I want to believe. But I always dream of being a damn slave in every damn era. I dream of... I mean, I've always been a rebellious individual. And I do think a lot of these past life dreams that we have definitely correlate to our life today and what we're going through. Maybe not in the same intensity, but it's the same emotion. It's the very same emotion and the same lesson. Okay. So not the same intensity. Like, we're not being, you know, handcuffed and thrown in the streets and dragged behind a car and shit like that. But it's the same emotion and the same intensity. It's like a trauma response. It's PTSD. It was a traumatic happening, and that traumatic happening is happening again for some reason in your bloodline. And it's almost as if we have to find and connect those dots and solve that issue, you know, as the progeny of that generational trauma. So I do believe that there's lessons, or there's things that we have to unlearn, and that it definitely carries from people that we've never even met before. We never met before. Like way prior to us. Hundreds and thousands. And maybe even millions of years ago. So. But we know there was organized religion up to 125,000 years ago. So there was signs of organized religion. So it's like there's so many different signs, I guess, that we're connected towards karmic debt. Yes, so I do strongly believe in karma as well, even though karma is not necessarily a part of the religion that I strongly follow. It's definitely something where I don't think I strongly follow religion, more or less spirituality. You know, you said I think I just come from a peasant bloodline since I'm breaking that the hoe's mad. I think that too. The correlation that we draw between our dreams and our like actuality, like our life today, right now, currently, you know, it should always be taken figuratively. You know, it doesn't mean it's something that's going to happen tomorrow or something like that. Like you're not going to, like I said, be beaten like a slave tomorrow or anything like that. But what you will recognize is the emotions in those dreams and how they're very similar to how you're feeling within that moment, and how the instances or what's being said can also be the exact same. I've had dreams of war and everything like that right before the several wars that are happening right now in Israel and Palestine. I had a dream prior. I've had a bunch of dreams prior to the Russian war as well. I've had so many dreams about like that gave those familiar feelings, even though I've never experienced anything like that ever. Never in my lifetime. I have grandparents that have. I have great grandparents that have, but I've never experienced anything like that in my lifetime, and yet those things are so prevalent in my dreams for some reason, so strong. I don't play games like that. Like I don't look for that. But the historical representation that I see, like that happens in my dreams, I always end up looking up and Googling and stuff like that, connecting the dots and looking at the years and everything like that. Looking even at like location. And I would recognize those locations, which is so crazy to me because I've never been to some of these places. The first dream that I had was kind of crazy like that was I had gone to... I was with my grandmother who had recently passed away, and in my dream I was on a plane and I had stopped in France, which I've never wanted to go to the Eiffel Tower. I've never wanted to visit France. I'm not really a big fan of travel in the first place. I'm a very rooted down person. I want to go to like Japan and stuff like that, and places who are very strongly spiritual, but I've never really thought of France that way. But I had a dream that I was with my grandmother, and for some reason we had stopped in the streets of France. And when I was walking around, I knew French. I was able to speak with the peoples. I was able to like look at the buildings and recognize the buildings and look at the ground. And when I looked up this particular location, because I remember some of the signs that I saw, when I looked up this particular location, it was a real location. Everything looked like that. And if you know anything about France, majority of the streets and some of the buildings are original. They were built in stone. The foundations were built in stone because of the wars. And I recognized all that. I was able to talk to these motherfuckers. I had never ever thought about France twice. Like, ever. Historically or anything like that. Never thought about the French Revolution other than in school. Like, there was just so many different things where I was like, it was so specific. And of course, I have French also in my background. French Canadian, though. But I feel like some are gifted when it comes to having dreams. But also, being different people in the dreams, I'm often different people. But that sometimes that kind of mixes and melds with like me being me, then me also being in third perspective of someone else's experience, kind of like experiencing a movie through the eyes of an individual. Makes me feel better, and I'm not alone when I dream of being a slave and running from my masters, but it felt so real, but I didn't understand why. It's a similar feeling to what we feel today and now, I think. My condolences, Nicole. Thank you. Could it be the dreams that are also our fears from what happened in that past? I think they are. I think they are a lot of the time. But I also think they're strong reminders. I think sometimes we need to be reminded of our humanity, and through that, it's like we're not being re-traumatized necessarily. Like I said, I think these are things that are passed down through blood, not through soul, through blood. Okay? Like the karmic debts that weigh on our back are through blood. The things that we've been through are through blood. Soul to me, soul and body are separate. Soul and brain are separate. But they go hand in hand still. There's a relationship between them. It's just not really strongly understood yet. And I don't know if it ever will be. I hope it does become understood one day. And I think through like AI and stuff like that, as we're creating beings who resemble humans so strongly, like we're trying to recreate the brain artificially, I think we will figure that out. Stubby is clawing me in the fucking, ow, you little fucker. Because she wants food right now. I know, I'm gonna go get you food. She's being so rude. I'm usually a man in my dream. Like, why am I a woman now? For me, it varies. I mean, sometimes I'm a white blonde woman. Sometimes I'm a dark black man. Sometimes I'm in Africa. Sometimes I'm all over the fucking world. It don't matter. I'm all over the world. I'm on a boat. I remember one of my dreams seeing my mom in her 20s wanting to tell her I was going to be her daughter, but I couldn't. And those are the things that are weird, right? Real fucking weird. Stubby, stop it. Stop it. She's trying to get up. Y'all want to see her? Here. Here she is. I miss having a cat. I feel like it'll help me so much. You know, animals, in my eyes, a lot of the time, also help with childbirth. Because they sense all the feelings that you feel. And I think they kind of like channel through, or what do they call that? Negate a lot of the negative emotions and feelings. Because, I mean, obviously because they're so fucking cute, but also just because I think they are incredibly intuitive. They see and hear a lot of the things that we don't. Do you ever think of astral travel all the time? I think I do all the time. Ow, you little fuck. Stubby has no tail, y'all. You see? I was trying to show y'all not her butt, but she got no tail. Yeah, she's my daughter. And she's spoiled. I have 3 others. I have 3 others. Will you get your asshole out of the screen, girl? Don't be doing that. Being rude. Hello, girl. Stubby is chunky. She lost a lot of weight. She was real fucking chunky, dude. She's chunky from the treats, because my grandparents were feeding her a lot of treats, extras, deli meat. Remember her being so small. She looks, I think, a lot larger than she actually is, because it's winter time and so her floof is up. She's got her floof ready right now. She's purring. Hello, my baby. She said them treats is nice. Yeah, too nice. I say hello, Stubby. She's like, I'm just fucking hungry, motherfucker. Like, give me my food. She's fucking shedding in my eyes, too. Spoiled. Spoiled girl. She's finally getting along with her siblings, and they be playing all the motherfucking time, chasing each other up and down the house and climbing up the curtains and doing all this extra shit. We put up a fucking Christmas tree. These motherfuckers, all, no, except for Stubby. You know, Stubby's the one who chases them up the tree, but they all were up in that tree. And these guys are heavy. They're huge. These other ones. Stubby's small. Y'all, she's a small house cat, very small. She's 8 pounds. Or I think she's like 9, maybe 9 pounds. But she's small, yo. And those guys are like 15 pounds. They're huge. Mixed with Maine Coon and Ragdoll and shit. And Alley Cat and all that. God, she got hair in my motherfucking nose. But animals are healing. Oh, okay. You're disrespectful. Get your ass out of my face. You don't gotta lie to her. She knows she thick. Stubby's looking at the camera like, shut the fuck up. Nigga that is nigga. No, she's a tiny girl. Now she's 6. Her siblings are a year old. Almost a year and a half. But she'd be acting like a kitten now. She thinks she can get away with this shit. Even though she's been taught not to. Getting up on the counter, doing all that extra shit. You're putting your poopy paws up on the counter, like, for real though? Like, I found paw marks. Like, I could see where these motherfuckers go. Because right after getting out of the cat box, these motherfuckers trail. They make a fucking trail up on the counter. They'll look at me all like, oh, I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. She's a kid in her heart. She is. She's hungry. I'm hungry. I think I'm a hop, but I want to get on again later. I definitely want to get on again later or tomorrow in the afternoon. She's laying right on it. She's laying all on the cards too, so that really does tell me. She's like, listen, come on now, take a break. But I want to get on later and do some all signs. Either I'm gonna do all signs, or I'm gonna do singular signs, individual signs, and then I'm gonna also do another just normal live stream for y'all. But I've been just getting in that vibe and that energy. Epic dream, close to astral traveling, but I felt like I was sneaking into someone's conversation. The gag was the convo was about me. Yes, that is astral traveling. You're right. You're correct. My old cat used to do the same, but I loved it because she kept us clean. Yes. Kept us clean. Feed me now. Yes. A couple of drinks ain't never hurt nobody. It hurt her breath. She got stinky ass breath. So I gotta brush her teeth and shit. Put some gel in her mouth. And she hates that shit. She said, motherfucker, if you can't deal with my stinky breath, like, why the fuck am I here in the first place? Start getting zoomies after I get her gel. She just stretched in front of the camera. Lay your little ass down. What you doing? You play too much. You know that? You're interrupting me. You're a distraction. Boop. Man. I can't with her. Ooh. 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 Stop it. She don't want me to touch some cards. All right, we wrapping it up, girl. We getting your food. We're getting your food, girl. Will you stop? I'm trying to put my cards away. See, now she's down. Now she's down. She's gone. She gonna fight you for putting her business out there. Yeah. No, she was trying to fight the cards. Definitely enjoyed this live. Everyone here is chill. It's a vibe. I really like being in. I just want to put that out. It was nice. Yeah, come back. Come back. Y'all. Come back. Like y'all it's never a negative to have y'all up in here. Even if you just kind of lurking or watching in the background. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, some people just like to chill and vibe, and that's totally fine. I don't have a problem with it. You know, as long as we for the most part staying on topic. Shawnice, you'll be my last. I'm gonna flip over the card. Let's see. Exclusive or with you long term. I'm usually shy and reserved. Well, I'm glad we can make you feel comfortable. We don't bite. We're not the type. I would say, Shawneese, it does look like McQuarrie is somebody who favors like long-term commitment, but just doesn't know how to go about a long-term commitment, especially with someone like you. You just have that vibe or that personality where like you just not gonna put up with any of the bullshit. Like if a person wants like a polyamorous relationship or an open relationship, you're just not gonna put up with that. But I feel like that's the type he's looking for. So he's looking for long term. It's almost as if he wants this cake and wants to eat that shit too. He's looking for long term, but he's also looking for like, okay, can we be long term? And I also have like a girlfriend on the side or whatever, or we both have a girlfriend on the side. It's like, why is that the type of energy the city brings you? That's how I feel like. Like, well, why is that the type of energy the city be bringing you? For real. I feel like the thruples and thirds type relationships are becoming more and more popular in densely populated areas. It's like, why can't you stop with a wandering eye? That's what I feel like is happening. Just stop. Like, people just can't stop with that shit. But that's what he wants, Shawneese. It's like a polyamorous relationship or irregular relationship. So long term but irregular. So he wants like sister wives and that sort of thing. That's his type. The vibe of the channel is get your money up, not your funny up. Yeah, it is. But that's what's up, Shawneese. Like, you know. You expose it. I'm telling you straight. I can't. Just because even there's some people who can make that shit work, but I know you aren't the type. So I'm not going to lie to you. Right? You're not the type. If I saw that in your type of energy, it would be there. But it's not. So, don't play. Don't play. Yes, you deserve better. You deserve somebody who's capable of monogamy and doesn't make people feel like, you know, they're not enough through dating other people or wanting other people 24/7. I've been here forever. I'm waiting for the day he boosts me. Nah. He said he do have a big... Okay. Listen, I'm never going to judge you if you want to deal with that situation sexually. But just know that big ding-a-lang ain't just in you. It's in the whole crew. It's on the whole block. Okay? Just know that you never going to be that exclusive relationship. So don't get addicted to the ding-a-lang. Don't get addicted to his dick. Because the moment that you get dick with by this motherfucker, it's very, very hard to let go of. Not just the dick, but his personality type too. Because he's got a good personality. He's not a bad person. But he wants that throuple. He wants that throuple. He wants you and another woman. And he won't have, there's no in between on this. That's what he wants. He knows what he wants. I believe you in the Bronx. You're rude as fuck. I told you, see, it's that densely populated areas. And I know a lot of the time too, it's like, you know, I don't know. I feel like the Bronx has a lot of interesting folks. The interesting lifestyles. I feel like that type of shit is just more popular in the city in general. But like, you know, as we kind of lean towards certain areas. That emoji. No. It's like they think marriage is overrated. Like, I guess I don't really understand that point of view, because if you're in a, like, you're allowed to be happy in a throuple if that's your type. But like, when you get into a monogamous connection with a monogamous person, someone who strongly believes in monogamy, and then you swing at them and be like, well, you know, maybe we could open it up. You know, maybe we can just invite in the, like, why is that? That takes a lot of trust, and that takes a really long-term experience with a person. Like, you need to trust all the people in your relationship. So why are you bringing in an extra piece of baggage? Like, y'all already got baggage. Why are you bringing in another fucking piece of baggage? Like, for what, though? Learn monogamy first before you decide to fucking pull on everybody else's energy. Learn yourself first, motherfucker. Learn what you want. Like, just stop. Like, learn to put your dick in one pussy and be okay with that for a second. Like, be okay with your hand first. You know what I mean? Like, gotta be that insecure where you need love from every type, every corner. Jesus. You need everybody. And everybody and their mama knows about your relationships too. When the next time you're going live? I want to go live tomorrow. I'm not sure about the time, but I want to go live tomorrow. So I'm gonna be doing, I think, singular reads first, and then I'm gonna do a live like this. So I'm gonna pick like a couple of signs, maybe 2 or 3. He's young. He's 20. Oh, well, then it makes sense. Why the polyamory thing is big with him, and why he can't pick and choose. It makes sense. You know, I'm young, but I've had my go with things. I've had my go with things, and I can tell you something: them relationships do not work out. An open relationship be like an open fucking hand to the fucking face. That shit don't feel good at all. So, temporary bliss, y'all. Temporary bliss. I was so obsessed today he ain't give me. Hey, Ghosty. Good luck. Good luck. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be getting on tomorrow. The audacity. They don't make them like that no more. I don't know what they make them like. I just think they, fucked up. Like, we gotta stop with this shit where we don't believe in divorce. Like, I know they say like 50% of married couples get a divorce, but like, we gotta stop fighting for relationships that we know just ain't healthy at all, because we're making our kids see that shit. And when our kids see that shit, they take that shit and run with it, and then they have trust issues for the rest of their life, or they get into relationships and connections where, they're never enough. They never feel like they're enough, because they got with somebody who wants 25 baby mamas with everybody basically wants 25 babies with 26 different baby mothers. Thruples and truples. What time tomorrow? I don't know what time, girl. I don't know yet. I have no idea. You'll see it when you see it. How about that? You'll see it when you see it. And hopefully I'll pop up on the right time. Told my sis that doing it for the kid, but what the kids want is you to be happy, and y'all can be a 2-parent home still, even living in 2 separate houses. Like, it doesn't even need to be split like that. If you can compromise, and relationships are all about compromise, especially romantic ones, especially being parents, you're going to have to compromise. Like, you have a kid, so you compromise. Get along with each other for an hour so that your kid can see their other parent. Or so that y'all can go to the zoo. Or so that y'all can go on a ride and not argue with that motherfucker for once. It's not about you for once. It's about your kid. So, you can co-parent. You don't have to stay for the kids. Hell no. Because your kids want nothing but happiness for you and the other parent. RoboCop before. Remember them days, Culture? I do. Well, that was when we had to boot every single fucking person that came up in here, because we had chaos happening. That was when we was still doing the Discord. where we would have people come in and we take calls and everything like that. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to be on tomorrow. Okay? And I'm going to pick and choose whatever signs that I'm kind of feeling out for the day. Those are the individual signs that I'll be posting or doing a live for. And then I'm going to do one of these lives afterwards. Moms and Pops stayed, and that gave me anxiety for real. But anyways, I appreciate y'all. If you like the video, I want you to like, comment, subscribe. And those of you who did not get a reading from me, come back to our next live stream, because you will, you'll get in. You'll get your foot in the door. I'm pretty reasonable, unless you're an asshole. All right, y'all. Isabella be telling the dudes. We still have a Discord, but it's just unused. It's unused. Because I haven't figured out what I want to do with it yet. Genuinely. Like whether I want to do another show where I take calls and all that and do readings for people on live. Because that shit was fun. Hell yeah, it was fun. But it got out of hand real fucking quick. Alright, y'all. I appreciate it. Love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. If you like this video and want to see more of it, most definitely share the shit. Because you want more people. We want more people up in here. Now, if you don't trust your peoples, your friends and shit like that, then keep that share. Keep that share for somebody who needs it. Don't be posting me on your Facebook when you know you got some hateful ass family members. You know what I mean?